Let's fucking go, y'all. Hello. It is Friday. We had one hell of a stream last night. We went late. Very, very late. So I was a little bit tired and I didn't get... we went so late, practically we had a hard out just with, work the next morning and morning meetings, and I had to end the stream desperately. So didn't get all that much sleep, but doing all right. I think I'll be able to do more or less a regular land stream, but we'll be doing the whole thing tonight. You might have seen the description of the stream. I will say, for my part, right now, it is a little uncomfortably hot in this apartment, and what the fuck is going on? I went and looked at the thermostat. It's 2 degrees above where it should be. It's on cool. What in the fuck is going on there? That's not how... That's a bad sign in Texas when you look at the AC and it's above where it thinks it is. It's not just like, oh, I thought it was the right temperature, so I stopped working. No, it's like, I'm pretty sure I'm running away in the wrong direction here, but what are you gonna do? Luigi, you got it. So that's worrisome. Worst come to worst, I might run and, in an unprecedented development for the stream, go put on shorts. If I need to put on shorts, I will put on shorts. But I'm hoping the AC will work. I cranked it down to like 68 degrees rather than 72. It was at 74. I'm hoping it fucking works. If it doesn't work, I'm going to call in like an emergency repair thing right away and be like, hey, you need to come now. Holy shit, I cannot sleep with this sort of heat. If the Texas outdoor heat comes indoors, it's like all bets are off. You're fucked. You need to fix that. Basically, do the thing. Switch over to Luigi. Notifications. Anyway, that part came in so hot. It was literally seconds ago that I noticed that, a minute ago, so I don't have a card about it or anything of the sort, but I do have other cards. Let me scroll through these. That's a lot of likes and a lot of plays. Look at that. I've been a little busy, too busy to actually make and stuff and clear my notifications and all that. There's your man Luigi. Right there. Look at that. Card time. Let me do these cards. First off, follow up on sleep stuff in general and following yesterday's stream. So yeah, I'll say it's kind of funny thinking back. The start of the stream, I was talking about on Monday's stream, I was really goddamn tired and just out of it a lot in that stream. And I think I figured out the reason why. I was taking melatonin for on a daily basis. And I decided on Monday, after being getting a good night of sleep and then being groggy and irritable all day Tuesday, just no more melatonin, I'm done. And I'll tell you, even though I've had trouble getting to sleep, but I have been more awake and more alert, even on less sleep, than I have been of late after cutting out the melatonin. I'm gonna just roll up my pajama pants because it's fucking hot. That'll do in a pinch, turns out. So, that's cool. My feet are hot. Ugh. No socks off. Come on. Okay. So that was interesting, and then I went into the Thursday stream. Wanted to do Majora's Mask Randomizer, and I didn't know how long it was gonna take, and it turns out longer than a stream can be on a Thursday night. It took we went deep into the night. We went 10 hours on that game, and by the end I was just like, oh shit, we seem to have gotten the worst luck. We have gotten the worst luck here. All the checks are in the wrong places. I had to get I have to get every song. I have to get nearly every item, it feels like. it's a little messed up and a little like, oh my god, like it feels bad, man. But I don't know. For what it's worth, I'm still enjoying the randomizer. I think these settings are decent, but they could use improvement to maybe cut out some more annoying things and give better hints. That's right. This is a title screen level. You're right. And I'll say, like, I've slept, like, maybe a couple hours since the last stream, last night, because, after my morning meeting, took a couple of hours, like an hour or two, actually. Not really a couple hours, just, like, between, like, a morning meeting and, like, actually waking up and getting to work, and sort of busted ass all day, got some shit done. It was a relatively productive day. It was a very productive day. A lot of like, I don't want anyone to believe that like, oh, stayed up all night playing video game, wasn't able to deliver at work. No. Had a very productive day. Like I busted ass over the course of the day, and now I'm ready for like streaming. And now his stream is short. Maybe. We'll see. I definitely, the gimmick of tonight's stream was definitely chosen in order to help alleviate the part where I'm going to be tired, but also, it's just fun to do. Couple more things. First off, Sunday, the Microsoft Game Showcase is on Sunday, and that starts at noon Central, so we'll be starting like before that. And after the showcase, I will finish off that goddamn Majora's Mask Rando seed that we started and got oh so deep into. I don't know how long the Majora's Mask Rando is going to take from where I was, but here's hoping it, takes like a couple hours tops. And also hoping that the Microsoft Game Showcase, or whatever they're calling it this year, also takes a few hours tops. Like, we'll see. I did a reaction to last year's Microsoft Game Showcase, and I wasn't really super whelmed. I think the only thing I pogged for was, it's like for the Persona games coming out on Xbox and stuff, and Royale and stuff. I was excited, and it was all on Game Pass, so, that's how I played Persona 5 Royale earlier this year, just through Game Pass, and that was pretty sick. That was pretty sweet. Anyway, that'll be Sunday stream from noon on. We'll see, like, how long that takes. Hopefully I have enough time in the evening to, relax and shit. I like to usually not do things on a Sunday. Oh, and I'll say there's no Thursday stream next week because of that. Because of the Sunday stream. Finally, oops, all lightning round. That's right, it's like the card says. Tonight, we are starting in the lightning round. All the levels that you see tonight will be done in the lightning round. And let's just pop that into existence right now. We need the thing. We need caboose. Folks, it's the lightning round, which means we have 5 tries to beat each level and 7 for subs. He's gonna be done by 9 p.m. EAT tonight, or we'll see. It's possible. We'll see. I'll tell you, actually, Lord Bowser. I did prepare a good number of cards, so we have things to talk about, honestly. Starting in the lightning round tonight, that means that we'll have 5 tries to beat the level of each level to come, so it's refreshing at checkpoints, and 7 for subs, and also for the first person in the thing. Isn't that exciting? I'm gonna randomize that. Oh wait, who's in the first right now? Check. Oh, it's Droopman. If it was Bowser, I would say, like, actually, maybe just keep that as is, because you're Bowser. That's Bowser. But, Droopman is not Bowser. There we go. There's the heads. That's, you're not gonna get any more razzle-dazzle, maybe, out of me tonight. As far as the level goes, I really haven't started on it. I have some, like, small ideas, but, like, basically, the only thing I have for y'all tonight, as far as like maker update goes, is to show off the level, which is a work, is a work in progress, is a brainstorming BS level. All I know for this level is I want to use saws, probably moving or something, maybe. I want to use rainbows, and that's it. I know I want to theme it around rainbows. I know that saw blades have to be a big part. That's all I know. And on one level, that's nice because, like, okay, well, we don't have that much. I can basically go wherever I want from here. But also, I can really go wherever I want from here. Oh, also, I thought it was interesting when you jump on something as Yoshi. At least these guys, they sort of pop forward. But also, I'll say in my testing more recently, it's kind of awkward to land on them. Cause them to go in the right direction. That's not really a maker update, honestly. At some point, I want to do a making stream to kick off this level's direction and sort of just like brainstorm for a while, trying out various things, but that will not be tonight, or of course it won't be tonight. And with the Sunday stream, I don't know if it's going to be next week either. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we could slip in like a tiny making stream, relatively short one, like on one of the days that we're not streaming. There's no regular Thursday stream, but there could be a maker stream. I don't know. I don't want to promise that. That seems like a bad idea to say. At some point, I want to do that. Maybe not this week. Maybe week after. That's... I say that and I think, God damn, we're going a long time before we're actually kicking this off. I don't know. I don't know when this is gonna go. Anyway. Corn. Corn is good for you is the name of the person, but that is also Droopman, who we've known before. Let me punch in the level and get this train on the road. It's viewer level time. We're starting in the lightning round. It's oops all lightning round. Y'all know what that means. I don't have to say that. I don't have to explain it again now, do I? But I'll say it again for the people watching the VOD and skipping the places in the thumbnail. Timestamps. Skipping to timestamps. This is the lightning round. Hello, Corn. This is the lightning round, and during the lightning round, I only have 5 tries to beat the level. Refreshing at checkpoints, 7 for subs, and also for the first person up in the night. That's Twitch subs for people watching the archive, if you don't understand. I always wonder if people watching the archive understand why subs would get extra anything. Because in like in a YouTube context, a subscriber is not a premium thing. They might think it weird to see like, oh, pogging off for a sub? Huh? Like that's just a normal thing. Though I do also, thank followers, so it's not like I react to those as well, but I sometimes wonder, how they realize that, and I hope that they're able to figure out from context that this is a Twitch stream and they're watching the archive thereof. This is a very cool level you got going here. Like your use of the tilting platforms. Make a very unique platform level. Very nice. You can sort of like ride on a single platform and just duck under, or you can go to the other platform. There's a little bit of fun variety here that you have, expressiveness, whatever. I think that's always a good property in a level, that allows players to do it their own way. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's something that's underestimated in, like, a speedrun level. Where, like, no, there's one way to do it. You jump here, you jump there, you jump this way, do 2 small jumps here, and Bob's your uncle. I think it's fun in a traditional level to be like, no, you can jump there, you can jump up there. You don't have to jump up there. You can do whatever the fuck you want. That sort of design that allows you that freedom, that expressiveness, I think is I think it's very valuable. Maybe underappreciated, I don't know. Do y'all think about expressiveness when you're making levels? Thank you for the level. Droop. Go ahead and hit next. Next up is the Lord Bowser. Lord Bowser, I'll say, the only thing, I'm not like particularly drowsy for all the lack of sleep. I'm just a little bit, I got a headache, and that's it. Like, ooh, jeez. A little bit of a headache. Also, oh, let me grab my mouse real fast. 1 second, folks. Oh. 1 second. What was I grabbing my mouse for? Oh yeah, I need to move a thing because it's sort of in the way of my... Just on my my preview monitor, I need to move a thing around. Y'all don't have to worry. Doesn't affect y'all. There's some cars or something pretty loud outside. I'm sure y'all can't even hear them. It's kind of annoying. It's very annoying. How about a card? Finished rewatching Comic Girls. Tonight's stream is gonna start with a anime series, a series of cards concerning anime. Recently been rewatching Slice of Life Comic Girls, which is a show about 4 girls who draw manga. And the main one is a complete mess in a very cute and adorable and lovable way. She has like the cutest distress sounds, and also a lot of really funny and good little moments mixed in. I think the moment that comes to mind most is when she's like, she's going to school for the school that they go to for the first time, and she's like the teacher, right? The strict teacher. She disciplines another student in front of her, and her friend is like, "Oh, watch out, Chaos! You don't want to get like, you don't want to get like told on or whatever." And Chaos is just Chaos. I think it's Chaos, not Chaos, even though it's spelled like. It kind of looks like Chaos to us English readers. I like what you've done with the spike balls. That's fun. It feels good to run through. She says she is just looking there with like a slack-jawed look on her face, going like, I want to be disciplined by the beautiful teacher too. Just and her friend is just like, she likes it. It's very funny. You know? That's all you need. Good little jokes, some nice meta humor, and just some of an amazing character. Yeah, that's the lead. I really loved, ooh, there's a hat. I really loved Comic Girls. Would highly recommend it to people who love slice of life animes. I think it's one of my favorites. Like, one of my favorite slice of lifes as far as that girls doing stuff genre goes. You know? What's up with these guys? This guy. Morton Boss, yes. Hell. Probably like get in on the corner if I'm willing to like risk it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you need to like move around to make the things go, or is it just timing based? It's just timing based. Crap. It's also luck based too, a little bit. I feel like that was some bad luck. But also, you know, I did mess up, I suppose. That's the first life. Next, been rewatching Fire Force Season 2. Nearly finished. I'll say, like, you know, in the same way that I like to have, like, oh fuck, I forgot the thing. That's not good. Hard mode here. In the same way that I like to have a slice of life going that I'm rewatching, you know, for like winding down at the end of a day, something like that. Yeah, it can't be cheesed. I like to have a slice of life to watch. I also like to be rewatching a shonen, you know, just going through a basic little shonen show. And currently, the one I've been going through is Fire Force, which I will say I think it does really come into its own in that they're, damn it! Nearly got him into the lava there. I think it really does come into its own in the second season. It's just really solid. The arcs that they do are very good in that season. And, you know, there's some good, like, lore and shit, I would say. Lore and shit? There's some good, like, setup for, like, the central mystery of the world, you know, the places they go sort of, like, build that shit up and, give you some stuff to chew on as far as, like, what's going on in this weird world where everyone has fire-based powers, and it's, you know, and, they're fighting people who are just spontaneously turning into flame monsters. And, you know, after the first season, there's almost very little just, like, straight-up normal fire, like, fighting, you know? It starts off with a big focus on, like... Yes! Haha! It starts off with a big focus on, like, on just like, oh, we gotta fight some monsters. People are turning into monsters. It's our duty to put them down when they turn into monsters. But in the second season especially, like, the bigger focus is on, like, unraveling the mysteries of the world, figuring out, like, why people are turning into monsters, and what our heroes can do to stop it. And also, you know, getting stronger, as you do in a shonen. It's good shit. I think it's top-notch. I'll say I was initially planning to, like, rewatch, Jujutsu Kaisen after finishing Fire Force, but I think I realized, like, the other day that, like, I think the next season of Jujutsu Kaisen starts, next season. The Broken Chain, you are up next. Broken Chain, hey, how you doing? If you are here, go ahead and say. I'll say, by the way, if you're not here, I don't think I explained earlier how it works. If you're not here, we still play the level, but we do it in sudden death, which is to say 2 lives instead of 5. Fewer, you see. Speaking of seasons of anime, which again, you know, the last... Again, like, it's sort of a thing with shonen anime, you know, where you're watching it and you're like, okay, where you're watching it, I should do the thing where I I need to do the thing where I the fella, you know? The broken chain. The broken chain. Broken chain. Chain 37. You are up. There we go. It's a thing with shonen animes sometimes that come out so regularly. Like, if you want to find time to rewatch it, it's like, okay, well, when are you going to do it? Because between seasons doesn't really work. There's not enough time between seasons to do it. And once you're, like, cooled off from watching the new season, you know, it's probably too late to start, like, a rewatch. It's the same way with, like, JoJo. You know, that series is just far too long to do anything beyond just watching the new stuff, you know? Or just watching, like, a single part on a lark. Jeez, my ears are getting hot in this situation. I don't see the broken chain, so I'm gonna put broken chain into sudden death. You all know how that works. I mentioned it. On the topic of anime, been watching the current anime season, which is also called Spring, and it's almost over. There's like a couple episodes left of each show. I think that like Dr. Stone has like 1 episode left, which I'll tell you, I haven't seen yesterday's episode considering like how I went from one stream to work to the next stream. You know, I'll probably watch it like after tonight's stream if I don't just collapse, you know? If I don't just collapse, I'll probably watch Dr. Stone, that episode, you know, the second to last. It's always a bittersweet thing when a season is ending, you know? Like, oh, I found all these shows that I like. It's kind of a shame that they're ending, but hey, you know. But, you know, they were good. They were great. And, you know, there's a whole new crop of new shows, probably, like, right behind them. Shit, I died really, really quickly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Broken Chain. One thing I want to say real fast, for context and shit. Well, first off, if ever I'm in sudden death, you can always just say, like, hey, I'm here, and I'll promote you to the full thing. You know, I'll add, like, if I were to, if Broken Chain were to show up right now, I would upgrade them to 3 lives, the 3 remaining. But also, even if I can't beat a level, doesn't mean you can't submit it again, doesn't mean I can't give it another go. The lightning round, sudden death, it's just stuff for fun, and doesn't invalidate a level or consume it. Back to where we were. Let's go ahead and pull up the next one. Anyway, the season's winding down. Kind of bittersweet, as it always is. I'll say my favorite thing is still Oshi no Ko. Oshi no Ko is phenomenal, but there's been a lot of other strong stuff this season, and some stuff that ended up getting pretty weak, which, you know, it did last season as well. Maybe I'm just too forgiving and, you know, I'm just down to watch too many shows. That said, the shows that got bad started good, I will say, so, you know, it's hard to gauge these things, right? Because, like, okay, it's good to start with, but is it good in the long term? Does it stay good? And if the answer is no, then you probably shouldn't watch it, but you can't tell that from 1 episode, so whatever. You might change the boss idea. I don't know what spike ball boss idea I can use. Yeah, I'll say it's a little difficult. What world was that for, Lord Bowser? What world is that in? Of your super world? Also, was that your new one? Shit. I should have been more thinking about it. You know, I should have been thinking about it more. That was the one that you've been working on all week. Or was that just the Super World one? I thought it was just the Super World one. You know, from the existing Super World. What if I did an on-off right here? Before going over. Okay. Now I'm gonna stand here. Get the thing. Rather than, you know, not getting the thing because I'm hasty. Ooh. And I'll say, as before, a timeout of a 500-second level would count for all of our tries in the lightning round, or at least 5 of them if we had more than 5. So, you know, keep that in mind. The stakes here for this level, tiny bit different from other levels, but not that much different. You know, basically, that's just a rule to maintain the spirit of the lightning round. Might get rid of the Shelmet. Not really needed as well. I don't know. This Shelmet is kind of needed because otherwise, maybe it could be a Fire Flower so you can just fireball it down. That's a little less cheesable, you know. You at least have to get 3 hits and survive the whole time to take advantage of such a thing. You can't take that thing out until you turn off the on-off, I guess. That's an interesting sort of wrinkle. say again, my head hurts a little bit, which makes sense considering how little sleep I got. But hey, I'll take a headache over, like, you know, over drowsiness, as far as like stream o'clock goes. At the very least, I can talk good and put on a show. You know, I can keep up the energy with it just bearing a little bit of a headache. What's up? Your code was rejected? Check it. You know, if you can't get it to work, you can always put in a if there's something wrong with the bot, let's say, you can always put in a maker code, and that'll do. I can grab your latest or your second latest or whatever it is you want me to specifically look at. I don't want to go this way. I need the on-off to be the other way before I go that way. I take it you checked it. Again, level code Pascal will do in a pinch. Or a maker code, you know? What am I doing? Pipe! Throwing down a pipe. Let me do another card. Did you just hear about Persona 5 Tactica leaking? Also, there's Persona 3 Remake. That's been rumored for a bit, and apparently it leaked as well. I'll say, you know, I love Persona, and seeing, I saw like a blurry picture or something of like Persona 5 Tactica, and I was like, what the fuck? What the hell? That's maybe the one gaming news thing I've seen since the last stream, I'll say. Uh-oh. It's not good. That's not where I wanted to put that. I think that's neat, and I hope it's exactly what I think it is. I didn't like look into like what people were saying about it, but no problem. We'll play whatever you want, Pascal. I haven't seen what people have been saying about it, but if it's just like, you know, exactly what it sounds like, a Tactics game in the Persona universe, that could be pretty damn cool. I guess then the question is, like, how exactly does it differentiate itself from regular Tactics? I dropped my spring! Oh, crap. So I can't get the spring out that way. Consequences, huh? I think that sounds cool. I'll say I didn't play through, like, most of Strikers, but I don't know. I'm not really that into, like, you know, Musou games. But I could play, like, a strategy tactics type game, I say. I actually don't play that many of them, for what it's worth, but I could play a bunch of them. Oh, I think I know. There we go. Here it is. Yeah, there we go. That's gonna let us do a thing. And also, the edge of the screen is there, so we're reached the end of the play space. We've seen everything this level has on offer. Do you want to go up from here, or... Yes, here we go. Perfect. Great. Got this thing, which is a fire flower. It's actually not useful. It just gives us a source of fire flowers. Okay, not sure what we do with that quite yet, but sure, whatever. I'll say, by the way, there is other news, and apparently it is like the season for big reveals and stuff, but I haven't seen all that much myself. Just a little bit in passing, that Persona thing, and also some stuff I had seen. Right, not this way. Some stuff I had seen like before yesterday's stream. Huh? Okay, now I'm back here, but I have Fire Flower. What about through here? I'm missing something, I think. I thought I had it with the fire flower area, but that didn't help me. Only gave me a way to get the fire flower back. We get up there? How do we get up there? I need like 2 objects I can stand on. Not sure what I need a POW block for. If you could get a POW block out of there, you could like destroy most of the level. The aesthetics of most of the gray blocks would just be destroyed. Wait a minute. Can I like get through the thing? Yes, I can. There we go. Well, that's new. With this, I can do this. That was less impressive than I thought it would be. Boomerang. What can I do with boomerang? I can throw it into that pipe. I'm out of time. I don't know what where we need to go here. And like I've said, for levels like this where there's a time limit that's a hard stop, and it's the lightning round, that has to count for all of them, or 1 life for every 100 seconds that we time out. Y'all know the deal there. Thank you for Level Highway. Hopefully I can figure that out like another time, or maybe even tonight. You know how that works. Right then, next level. It belongs to Lord Bowser. Now, what level is this Lord Bowser? Is this the... Okay, so still the world. Have we seen your new castle yet? Have we seen your new castle that you mentioned on the Discord? That wasn't the first one, was it? Or was it the first one? If I didn't notice, I'm sorry, but I did think that spike ball level was fun. For what it's worth. Bowser is here, by the way. I guess it was the first one. Okay. The spike ball timing was really cool on that. Yeah, I do think you need to work on the boss. That's... What world was it? Oh, it's... Oh, wait. What level of your super world was the last one? There was like 2 castle, right? I think for a 2 castle, it's a little overtuned. You know? Just a little bit. Maybe just a dash. You know? The boss especially. The boss is just a little bit tough. I was able to get through the rest of it pretty easily. But it did feel very thrilling. Which, you know, hey, I guess that's not really a... That doesn't sound like a negative thing to say. Like, oh, the level was thrilling. And it was thrilling. But, you know. How about a card? Did you watch the Summer Game Fest live stream? I was doing card stuff while that happened. I'll count it. It's fine. Summer Game Fest had their like kickoff funny stream, you know, and I wasn't able to like watch like a ton of it because it was like during work and all, and also I was very busy on Thursday, as well as on today, the day that it is, Friday. So I was only able to catch some of it off the, like the corner of my eye, muted, you know, and looked like a lot of ads to me. In addition to like a handful, like a true handful of actual announcements. No. Like, okay, we know that like we know that Mortal Kombat is coming out. We've heard about that. And seeing it in action, I was very much like, Yep, that's Mortal Kombat, all right. Oh, there are assists now? Okay, whatever. That's cool. Sure, why not? That's my reaction to the Mortal Kombat. I'm sure I'll have a fun time playing the story for that game. It'll be fun. You're gonna find another spike ball idea. Yeah, good luck with that. Not really a boss man myself. Not really a. I don't make that many bosses. Is what I do. Okay. Anyway, I don't know. I didn't catch most of it, and from what I was hearing from people after, it didn't sound like I missed that much. I thought it was funny the Final Fantasy VII Part 2 was like the big closer. Like, that was their big surprise. I was just like, wait, no. The big surprise has to be a game that, like, from a franchise no one's thinking about. It's getting a sequel, or something that's, like, eminently surprising. It's like, this is a iterative sequel to the one that was last year. You know? Thank you, Lord Bowser. Let's go ahead and hit next. And as a reminder, everyone feel free to get in more levels. Just go ahead and keep putting them in. You know a few people who are boss people or something. In the sense of them being really cool and good, yeah. Or maybe they also just like boss fights. And also the boss in Metal Gear. She's a cool lady. You like the boss. Let no one tell you we don't like the boss. Everyone likes the boss. Corny Bob, what was the thing that you said? Or Pasquale? I see you're here. Oh, you wanted Timmy Turtle's Castle. Timmy Turtle's Castle? Let's go. Also, I'll do one more card and talk about what's on it. Did you see the four games that Nintendo put onto their, like, you know, NES, SNES, GB online services? Mystery Tower, Harvest Moon, Silver's Kilton Tumble, and Blade Master? I think the only interesting thing about this lineup, which is, you know, it's a big update, but also no N64, no GBA, but I'll say parts of it are promising. Like, oh, they got Harvest Moon. That means they can get Harvest Moon 64, the one that I love. They got Kirby's Tilt and Turn, Tilt and Tumble. That means they can get WarioWare Twisted, which I've never played, and you know, I would probably like to, because that's like the one original, like, old style. You just like run into this. The only original, like, old style like WarioWare that I haven't actually played because, you know, it just wasn't available. Or that's not true. I don't know why I didn't play it. I didn't feel like it, I guess. And since then, obviously, it's you know, you've had to play it on a system with motion controls, or else it didn't work. And for the longest time, barely anyone had motion controls. It was a rarity. And that's kind of changed now with the Switch. So, you know, it's now a thing. Is that going to be a place I can get it? No, it's going to be destroyed. Cool, that's the first try. Anyway, I hope that whenever Nintendo does a big event, that there's like a focus on the N64 games and stuff. And I'll say, like, honestly, since the last Nintendo Direct where they did... I heard, like, the noise of a device disconnecting. But I can see my couch mic is still working. I see my Stream Deck is still working, so... Question mark. I wonder what that was. Oh, nothing important. Good damn it! How about another card? Thank you for Level Highway. Did you hear about Twitch's bad policy decisions and also them retracting them, but also not entirely, not really, whatever? All had to do with like on Tuesday or something, right? Middle of the week, they said like, oh yeah, people won't be able to do ads anymore. Ads from external external sponsors. There'll be all sorts of these draconian limitations on how long the ad spot can be, who you can do them for, etc. And they rolled those back after everyone said, "Oh, we hate this, roll them back." I said, "Oh, we're sorry, but also on the books, the policies are still there, you know. Policies are still on the books, and also, you know, they also rolled out another bad policy at the same time, wherein like, previously affiliates, you know, like me, could not stream to YouTube at the same time, and that's not changed. The only thing that's changed is that now people who aren't affiliate yet are included on the prohibition, and also partners as well, who have previously been able to get by that on the basis of being, you know, having leverage. You know, that's the one thing that's like a streamer who's an affiliate doesn't have, leverage. Big streamers, they have leverage. But apparently Twitch snuck it in, a policy saying like, hey, how about if you guys just didn't, you know, didn't post things to YouTube, like, you can't stream anymore. What if that happened? A little bit of a blind jump there, but was able to manage it. Anyway, I hope they roll these back. I hope the outrage continues, honestly. I would love it if someone could convince Twitch to roll back and undo the thing that doesn't let, like, streamers like me simultaneously broadcast to multiple services, you know? Like, if I could simulstream, whatever, multi-stream to Twitch and YouTube, that'd be pretty nice. I imagine there's probably folks there who want to see Mario in real time, you know, not just as a VOD. Yeah, that was pretty fucking close. You can simulcast, multicast, whatever, to TikTok, but I don't use TikTok. I'm not really interested in TikTok, so that's not really meaningful to me. I just want to do like a double stream thing on like services I actually use, or services that like I think are that I endorse fully, you know. There we go. Maybe we can bring through the thing. Wait. That would make this part easier too. If you could, you know, do a thing. Maybe you could do like a wall slide. No, that wall is way too uneven to do a wall slide on. Oh no, you know what you can do? You can just go all the way to the right, and you'll land on solid ground and just backtrack to the left. In fact, we'll probably do that here in a minute, you know. God damn it. Here we go. It's scary not seeing the next platform or nothing. Wait, we can just get around the door thing. Well, actually, it wasn't really not really a challenge, it's just doors. There we go. Okay. That time, the guys were timed up better. Perfect. Thank you for the level pass, Call. I know on some other communities, some people who go by, like, Pasquale with, like, AU. Isn't the bird in Animal Crossing, is that Pascal or Pasquale? I forget. I feel like Pasquale sounds more bird-like. Thank you for the level, dude. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out and shit and watching me play it. Hope you enjoyed. I hope everyone enjoys me playing every level that I play. You know, it's fun. I hope. I'm gonna hit complete. Oh wait, that was a maker code. That's right. You can submit the last one, and we're gonna go back to Lord Bowser, who is back up again. And I'll say again, feel free to resubmit as many times as you like for as many levels as you want me to play. We are, we're starting it out in the lightning round, but I kind of want to get through all these cards that I have before I, like, wrap up the stream, At least that's the plan in my head, Let's see. Is this the right account? Yes, okay, good. Let's go into the world. The castle. Did we fail this last time? Or, no, okay, we got through that castle, or whatever it was. And this is just another castle. Okay, thank you for little Pascal. Another card. Did you hear about Bowser's age? 34. I'm sorry, Lord Bowser. Out of context. The other Bowser's age, the one in Mario canon. Apparently they got, like, some... there was some, like... Fuck. There was some, like, there were, like, some images of, like, Lord Bowser, the original Bowser, and his son signing up for, like, Facebook or something and having their emails. And from the dates of their birth, you could figure out, like, oh, 34. And I don't remember, actually. I didn't note how old Bowser Jr. was supposed to be. And I'll say, by the way, if ages are ever inconsistent, not the same, you can always make the thing of, like, well, it takes place at a different time in their life. Characters whose ages don't really exist, they can be aged up or down according to the scenario or the story. It's not really a big thing that you have to worry about, honestly. A lot of characters in the Marvelverse are like 5 years older than they're supposed to be, or just all of a sudden, relative to their like, human selves. He's like 14, says, Lord Bowser. Well, that's, oh, I like this fire bar thing. It's almost a shame you can dodge it like that, but, I would be in trouble if you couldn't, I suppose. Hang on a second, let me Google. Bowser Jr. age. I think they said he was like 13. A little over 12 years old, says the official source, which was, what was it again? There was a video of, like, them making their own Switch accounts, and for that you have to put in your date of birth. So, Bowser was born on February 5th, 1989. So, like, a year older than me then. At this time, eventually that day will go down. It's a sliding date, I'm sure. And, Junior is, March 3rd, 2011, according to the thing. Obviously, Junior was around in, like, the GameCube era. That's sort of where he was introduced, but you know how cartoon, like, canon is. It's a sliding time scale. I like the cartoons where the characters age in real time. That, to me, is fun. Like the original Toy Story, and Toy Story 2, and 3, and not so much 4. I like it when you come back, like, 8 years later and you find out, like, oh, it's 8 years later, and the toys, they're no longer, Andy is a grown-up now. It's a whole thing. And that's just really, really fun and neat. You were close, yeah, totally. I feel like you could see Bowser Jr. as being, like, 8 or something. But 12 makes sense, and that's also, like, basically old enough to... I don't know the rules on, like, when you're allowed to make social media accounts. But... what do you think of Toy Story 4? Oh, I thought it was very good. I thought it was very good. It just doesn't compare to, like, the originals. Or even 3, that has, like, immense impact and, just so much inspired thinking. Toy Story 4 is very much more a generic sequel where it's like, okay, 2 months passed since the last movie. Okay, great. You know, you guys used to be making the brave movies about the toys that nearly got incinerated because they got thrown out for being old. You know, you guys used to be the ones making that. Now it's like, yeah, there's time isn't passing anymore. Forky. Okay, Forky was a cool concept. I think Forky was a cool concept. You know, his plight was you know, his plight. His like the way that he was his existential crisis was neat. And all his little jokes. I should rewatch all 4 Toy Stories at some point. That'd be a good thing to do, honestly. You know, I've been watching, whenever I have, like, free time, I've been, like, listening to my podcast queue, like, catching up, and, like, watching YouTube, you know, like, just random YouTube videos. But I am nearly caught up on podcasts, and if I'm looking for, like, movies to rewatch, Toy Story ones are on Disney+. I could just do that. Highway is up next. Highway already confirmed. Definitely a thought, but also kind of still too busy right now to be, like, watching movies, I guess. I don't know. Then again, like, when I play Tears of the Kingdom, I play it with the sound off, usually, and listening to a podcast, so could definitely watch Toy Story and play Tears of the Kingdom. Is there any hot news I should know about? This is a question for the folks. Usually, yellows are, you know, somewhere between rhetorical questions, and yellow cards are somewhere between a rhetorical question and an actual question. I would say, like, this one's mostly towards actual. You know, actually tell me. I haven't had time the last 2 days to be following the gaming news all too closely. I basically went from one stream, didn't sleep that much, straight into work, and now straight into another stream. So, and also I had to set up the other stream, the yesterday stream, and that took a couple hours before that stream. So, basically from yesterday's work to today's stream, just have not had the time to really look too deeply into it. So, please tell me if there's, like, cool games that have come out, have been announced, good trailers. I'm not really as interested in, like, oh, here's a trailer for something we already knew about and have already had trailers before. Like, that's not really that interesting, actually. Oh, it's a Auto Mario. Look at that. I don't think that's as interesting, you know? But, what was I saying? And all of Canada is on fire? I've heard that, yeah. That's the hot, like, non-gaming news. I actually had a card for that yesterday, and I, thought about it, and I said, like, well, why don't I just, you know, stick to the fun ones tonight. I will say I went for, like, a walk the other day, and even though down here in Texas, we still have an air alert down here, too, so I can't imagine how it is in the places where it's, like, you know, hellish storm clouds overhead. That is horrific. And I hope everyone does all right with that. Stay indoors if you can, etc. I think the temperature is better, by the way, right now in this apartment. My impression of this whole E3 season is just that, like, it doesn't seem like anything super interesting hasn't been announced. It's a lot of things that you saw trailers for and you're like, okay, I think I can figure that out. I know what game that's going to be. It's not terribly exciting or terribly unique. But hey, it might be pretty good and I'll probably buy it, so... You know, I'm talking about Mortal Kombat, which got a whole lot of screen time at the Keeleys the other day. The other Keeleys, the summer Keeleys. I guess the Keeleys are the award show. Thank you for Little Highway. Go ahead and hit, was that a maker code? So I hit complete in that case. Yes, perfect. Pascal. Go ahead and punch in this code. And I'll do another card because it seems like people don't have any ideas. Again, I'm honestly welcoming it. Anyone wants to tell me about a thing? I will say I did watch the... I asked this on some Discords. Not my Discord, but other Discords. I asked this on some Discord. And one person did show me that trailer for that Pokemon with guns thing, which I had heard about. I feel like that had went around like social media before. But it really does just look like Pokemon with guns. Like the Pokemon designs, the monster designs are like So on you know, similar. Oh, highway, hey. Streamer's choice? Very good. You can always refresh your stream, highway, if it's lagging on you. And let me know if anyone else let me know if there's like lagging or anything. It might be just a Twitch thing or like based on the player, you know, the thing you're playing it on, whatever. Open to anyone telling me about things that exist and things I should look at. But I will say, obviously, there were games that I saw Prince of Persia out of the corner of my eye. Sure, whatever. I'm sure that'll be fine. Hopping, sliding, and battling is what we're doing. I saw Prince of Persia out of the corner of my eye. I saw that there was... God, I can't remember, but it was like some long-running game at the Keeleys that was like one that I've seen like a million times at events like these, and I was just like, okay, whatever. There was shit. There was a lot of ads as well. Like I saw an ad for a monitor and ads for games that are, you know, like already basically out. I feel like if you're coming to a press conference, if you're going to a press conference, you ought to have a new game. You know, like a game that you haven't seen before. And if you don't have a new game, that's weird. You know, if you're just saying like, oh hey, we're Marvel Snap, it's a game everyone loves, and you know, we're doing like a patch in like a week or two. It's like, yeah, so everyone knows this. And look, I love Marvel Snap, and I will talk about it later. But, like, I don't know that they need to be there. I don't know that, like, anyone other than me need to hear that. I feel like we've gotten past the hard part now. I say. Okay. Still hard. Still challenging. I got like a bug bite on the inside of my calf right now. I should probably apply like a... I don't need to apply it to my whole body or nothing. But I should probably just spray down my legs with bug stuff before I go for walks. Right now. You know, since it's shorts weather here in Texas. But I don't know, I don't really like putting pesticide on my legs, you know? I'll say, like, I mean, like, maybe part of it is, like, a personal thing, you know? Oh, shit, there's a hidden mushroom here. I'll say that, which I lost immediately. Fuck! That was the last try. We'll give this another try, perhaps after going around the horn. But thank you for the level. I hope to one day beat it. I'll say as like a somewhat personal thing, I'm not really a big pesticide guy. I don't think you should pesticide things all that heavily. And part of that is that my grandpa, he died of Parkinson's because, and he was the pesticide king. You know, he pesticided the fuck out of his lawn, and I think it gave him Parkinson's. You know, that's not good. You know, just don't bother with that stuff. That's not worth your life to have a fucking weed-free lawn, okay? You stay away from that shit. You keep it away from your lungs. You do not, I believe, want that shit. And, you know, for my part, I think it's kind of squicky. And whenever I put it on my legs, I'm just like, or whatever, I'm just like, I don't want to touch my legs right now. And I feel really self-conscious about it, you know? And that's a little bit worrisome. But also, I don't like to itch all day either, you know, after walking. I guess I need to just put the stuff on. Whatever. Let me hit next for you, Pascal. 1 second. There you go. Next up is Lord Bowser. Another card. Bowser, good? Good for it? this is the last one in your super world. Isn't that interesting? Tears of the Kingdom. It's time for a big Tears of the Kingdom segment, y'all, where I talk about Tears of the Kingdom, which I'll say, fuck, man, like I said, I've been busy the last 2 days with streams, work, and streams, so I haven't played it since Wednesday, and, goddamn, I want to get back in there. I'm so close to finishing, though also there's so much to still find. You know, I only have, like, I'm over 100 shrines, over 100 light roots, over, you know, nearly got, like, everything I need and everything I can think of other than, like, side quests and things I've not heard about or figured out how to do. Like, you know, there's a couple things, like the frogs that have the gems. I don't know where those go. I don't know what those are for. You got a good Mario boss idea for the next game? Oh, that's nice. What, for the spike ball or whatever? Anyway, we'll be seeing more. I have a bunch of cards that are like, sort of tangents off that. And, here we go, the final thing in this super world, which I'll say, you know, I have played before, but your super worlds are still really good, Lord Bowser, and I appreciate you hanging out and giving them to me again. Well, I will never say no to a super world that's traditional and really good, even if I played it multiple times. I like to play games multiple times, so I don't mind playing, especially when they're like separated so far apart where I like barely remember them, you know, if any. Here's a card. What are y'all's fave auto builds? Sort of a nice little topic starter. I'll talk about mine, and if y'all want to pitch in chat, go ahead. I'll say, like, I haven't really faved that many builds, but just a select few. I was resisting it at first, but eventually I did fave the meme stick, the like, look at that, that's great. Nice. I did fave the flying stick, the one that just has like 2 fans on it and you know, a stick, right? And that's pretty cool. I will say I recently made a modification of that one that has actually 3, and it turns out it goes up faster. It's a little bit more stable on the ground, and also I think it's just honestly a bit more my liking. I'll say I don't tend to use those when I don't have a supply of, like, I'm, like, always consistently fresh out of, like, fans. So I can't make that unless they give me fans, but the game consistently gives you fans in, like, certain places, so I've been able to consistently make those, I've been able to consistently make them, you know? That, feels pretty good to do so. Hey. I think I remember this one. This is the one where you're not supposed to cheese Bowser. And if you, like, kill him with an on-off here, you're gonna regret it, basically. Okay. Here's the thing for us. Let's hit Bowser, come on, let's go. Time's a-wasting. So, other than that, the main other auto build thing I have is, like, the one that I saw on, like, a thing that I saw on, like, went viral or something, you know, online, which is, like a pro tip for, like, you in your, like, Tears of the Kingdom stuff, is that if you need to get, like, a bunch of, ooh, hey, nut. If you want to get, like, a bunch of apples, you can make an auto build of apples, just like a bunch of apples glued together. And then if you do auto build, it'll just, like, paste them all together and pull them out of trees and, such for you, which it turns out is, like, really dead handy. Just, oh, hey, there's some trees full of apples. Let me just pluck all the apples out, like, in a second. I have that saved. I also have a version that has, like, has like golden apples as well, a bunch of golden apples, just in case. I mean, they're kind of rare enough where, honestly, my basic apple design does have just like 2 or 3, does have like a couple of apples or golden apples just included, so that, you know, if there's just a couple in that orchard, they'll be pulled in as well, but it is dead useful, you know, dead handy, whatever your expression is for that. And I love it as well. I love to do it. I need to put together like more designs that I can just pull out anywhere. I use a lot of the ones that I use, oh, not that many of the ones actually, but I like the ones you get from like you know, in-game from locations. Those, it's always cool to see like, oh, what does Nintendo think this design should look like? What is the default design for Nintendo? And it's always fun to look at those and go like, okay, I see, okay. And also, you know, the version of that are like, you know, themed to certain enemies. I'll avoid going to like full detail there, I suppose. Hey, J Blood, how you doing? I'm talking about Tears of the Kingdom right now, in various different topics, because I have a bunch of cards that have prompts on them. You know how I do. If you don't know how I do that sometimes. Also, it's the lightning round, so I only have 5 tries to beat this level, refreshing at checkpoints. And it's a Bowser level, so you know, end of a journey here. We have 99 seconds. This is perhaps the tightest the timer has been on a level that is like not 100 seconds for you, Bowser. Lord Bowser, the creator of this level. Perfect. Thank you for the level, J Blood. I appreciate it. All right. No problem. Again, yeah, thank you. Oh, hey, that said thank you. What the hell? I didn't even think about it. Thank you for playing. I'm gonna guess playing. Is it gonna be playing the Super World? Or is it just gonna be playing and then there's the flag? Bowser Jr. and his family are now freed. By the way, in this one, the Bowser is the good guy, and you are ostensibly playing as Bowser in the fiction of the level. Good stuff. That's a good ending for a Super World, I'll say. Very fitting. Definitely easier than my final boss fight, I'll say. Though, you know, my final boss fight is the end of World 7, so, you know, sort of swerves on you a little bit. Very good. I'm gonna hit next. Next up is Pascal. Should we try that level again, or should we do a different one? I think let's give it a second try. Have y'all considered the Zelda timeline? Weird thing about Tears of the Kingdom, I'll say. Oh, by the way, please confirm, Pascal. I think Pascal, it's been a little minute since you have said anything. But I'm gonna type this in and I'm gonna talk about the Zelda timeline. The thing that's weird about the Zelda timeline after Tears of the Kingdom is that it concerns the founding of Hyrule, but also at the start of the founding of Hyrule, first off, there are like trinket secrets in the game and in Breath of the Wild as well that sort of like harken back to the previous games. So it is clearly like the present day is as ahead in the timeline, right? But also, in the like ancient past, the Zora and the Rito coexist, and if you know Wind Waker, you know that at some point in the distant past, the Zora evolved into Rito. So, how does that work? Well, and also, you know, the Hyrule that was originally founded was destroyed in a flood under the ocean, which definitely happened because there's like items from that game and like outfits in the game. So that for sure definitely happened. So I think how it has to work is that the the founding of Hyrule was a new Hyrule. This was the Hyrule that the king at the end of Wind Waker said, do not found a Hyrule. Don't do it. Please. Please don't found a Hyrule. That's the scenario there. So it's not the very start, it turns out, but just the start of this Hyrule, which apparently only applies, only has been used in this one game. Unless, or these two games. Whole eras and generations of fantasy stuff just to lead up to one Hyrule thing. I guess the other tell is that, as far as I'm aware, the Triforce has no part in, the Triforce has no part in this. Let's try Bowser's Airship. We'll return to that one maybe, another time, after one more, say. It's not really important. I just think it's fun to think about and to consider, oh yeah, they sometimes make pretend like the timeline actually matters, but it very clearly does not. It very clearly is just loosey-goosey, make it up as you go. You're gonna head out, Lord Bowser. Soar long to you. That'll make sense later. I promise. You have a good one. Or maybe it may... You know what? If you played... That's 2 lives. If you played Tears of the Kingdom, you might get it. Hey, I want another card. You all think the Zonai will return. Kind of thinking about this in terms of, races from previous games. Usually, oftentimes, they have come around to return in later games. And while the Zonai do exist solely in the ancient past, they're extinct and shit. There's nothing stopping them from saying oh, hey, this game takes place in the ancient past. There's plenty of Zonais. They're their own society of really technical people. That's how it is in this one. Christ almighty, that was fast. Thank you for the level. That's a hard one. Maybe we'll get another shot at that later on. A lot of levels we can give more time to. Hitting next now. J-Blood, you're up. You're up, buddy. Go ahead and confirm. If you don't confirm, again, I'll say, by the way, how this works if you're not here when your level comes up. We play it in sudden death. Very nearly, but not quite sudden death, where you only have 2 tries instead of the full 5. This stream is all lightning round. Usually I do a part of the stream that isn't the lightning round, towards the front. And, by now, an hour and a half in, we would be in the lightning round, but this whole stream has been entirely lightning round, which is nice for a change of pace, everything just starts... It all is just so fast-paced from the jump when you do it like this. Did y'all know about the blank in Tears of the Kingdom? Okay, I'm gonna throw up, small spoilers here. Y'all can mute for a second. It's not really spoilers, honestly. Honestly, I was listening to MinMax's, podcast, their deep dive series, and I listened to the first episode, where they discussed what they did at the very start of the game, and they mentioned something I had not heard of, something that they found, which was the... Spoilers. Wingsuit. I had no idea that there was a wingsuit in the game. I mean, I think from the podcast I have a vague idea where you get it, from one of those diving things, but I don't know which one, and also I haven't done, most of those, so... And I don't know, how it works. It's just an outfit that slows you down in midair. The spoiler thing is down. I suppose I should stop talking about it, but I am very curious about that. Very curious to get it. Very curious to try it out. And it's so cool that in this game that I played for 100 hours so far. What is this? Shell jump? Shell jump. I'll tell you, I'm not the great shakes at a shell jump. Where the fuck did I hear that from? Great shakes. I'm not great shakes at shell jumps, whatever that means, but I'll give it my best. I was doing... we gotta restart that because I was doing I was messing around with my hotkeys while that shell just got yeeted in the wrong direction. Okay, maybe this is a puzzle. Maybe this is a puzzle, not a shell jump. Eh? I think you're supposed to get over there. This is a one-screen puzzle, no Kaizo needed. Oh, okay, so these shell jumps have been in vain. This is not it. The shell jumps are wrong. You don't need to do a shell jump to get through this level. Okay, let's think for a second. So we need to get over to there, to the upper left. We need to get to the Yoshi. We need to step on the spring so that the Yoshi will be released downward. And if the blocks aren't activated, we'll be able to. He'll fall down here. Then we'll jump on him, and we'll be able to jump over to there. To what end, though? I'm not sure. Also, where do we get a key from? Jumping on the booze is the wrong answer. I can say that. Let's stop and think. That guy destroys the thing. Can I, like, or wedge myself into the wall here? Is he about to wake up? Blinking me and wake up? No. I can tell because he stops shaking as soon as you put him down. Okay, I can't like wedge him through the wall. Throwing up resets his timer. Yes. There's got to be some sort of something on that rail up there, and we need to throw the shell up into there and hope for the best that we can figure it out where it goes from there. I think I have like one more Zelda chart here. Actually, I have two more. We'll figure out this puzzle. We'll give this try on this puzzle. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, that just went right into the pit. It's either hitting that or hitting the other block. Thank you for the level. There's currently no other levels in queue, so feel free to resubmit and maybe we'll give it another try. But first, as I do when the queue runs low, I'm going to play one of my own levels for a bit. If you're just like, it won't take that long. They're traditional. It's a good, some sort of good traditional thing. And then we'll get back into y'all's levels. I suppose that's the like negative of doing all lightning round from the start. Maybe pick from my profile. Gotcha. You go ahead and put the code back in for me, J-Blood. I'm gonna play one of my own levels, and then we'll play another of J-Blood or whoever else wants to submit any. I am still good to go, by the way, and I'm still doing cards. So here's another one. What do y'all want for Tears of the Kingdom DLC? Well, I would like another area. I would like another dungeon. Another big dungeon. I think it'd be cool if they just added more landmass to the game. Just like extend Hyrule out a little bit to the south or something. And if I had one request, I would say like, oh, I think it'd be really cool if, why don't I play my last level? Bonus Biome 1, Sunburned Sanctuary. Play that one. It's been a minute since I played it. Probably since last week, actually. I do play my levels a lot, but not that often. Not when I'm, preoccupied with other stuff. Anyway. I guess a week is not a long time to have not played your own level. That's normal, I think. And yes, it's lightning round rules. Also, I think it'd be cool if there was a new race in the new area, And if I have one suggestion, it would be, I think it would be rad to see the Deku Scrubs back again. You know, if the Deku Scrubs were back again, doing like, you know, the Deku Scrub thing they do like in Majora's Mask, I think that'd be cool as hell. I would be like so pleased to see like, oh shit, the fucking, oh, is it like a swamp palace or something? I guess it would be a whole swamp area. In my heart of hearts, I feel like they could do more than that. I feel like they could do 2 new areas, like one to the south, one to the north or something. Or, fuck man, if I had like a million wishes, right? I could say like, just do the world. I would say, you know, what I would like them to do would be like just do like a new area to the north, to the south, to the west, to the east. And you know what? It'd be cool if they just like did the old Fallout model of DLC where it's just like, yeah, it's 4 DLC packs. Each one of them's like 10 bucks. You know, go wild. Here's the Deku expansion. You know, here, you know, to the other direction, to the out into the sea. Here, we're going like a sailing expansion. This whole new chapter takes place at the sea. And, you know, how does the depths work in that sea area? Well, you'll just have to find out. Maybe it'll be like underwater areas, like just actual underwater areas, like in the end of, like, Wind Waker. That'd be pretty sick. Who about will you meet in the water area? They already have Zoras. And also, Zoras weren't really present in the Great Ocean. Would there be anyone in particular you'd want to see in like a Great Ocean expansion? I guess, you know, you could do the Gerudo again. Like in Majora's Mask, there's the Sea Gerudo, you know, the ones that are pirates. But I guess maybe that'd be a little silly because there's already Gerudo in the game. Are there any, like, ocean-based beings in some of the previous, Zelda games that I'm not thinking about? Again, it'd be cool to, like, mine the depths and to, and to, like, pull different characters from different things. In the north, you got, like, some sort of mountainous thing. And in the west, could you do Wild West? Nah, that'd be silly. What would you do in the west? Something basic. I don't know. Thunder. No, they already did Thunder. I'm not sure what they do in the West, but I'd hope they'd try to figure out something that would be surprising and cool. You know, a cool new biome for a thing. That'd be my, like, my one wish of them. Like, yeah, just add 4 new biomes to the game. Make it like Fallout, where it's just like, yeah, there's a whole new mini-sized open world for you to explore in each one. And also there's a new race and species that lives there, and they're pretty cool and chill. Final Zelda-related card of the night here. New gimmick! For the rest of the stream, I have to say Soar long to anyone saying bye. That does apply at the end of the stream as well. This is a dumb idea I thought of, like, right before the stream, so I just threw that in there. And also, if you don't know, if you don't have context... Which image is it? It's not this one, it's this one! There's a guy in Tears of the Kingdom, and every time he ends his things, he says Soar long. And for the rest of the stream now, I have to say Soar long. Whenever someone says goodbye, or see you later, or I'm going to sleep, or something of the sort. Soar long must be said. Don't let me forget it. Do not let me forget it. Hello, Bo Alive. How you doing? There's not like a hello version of Soar long. Soar, how you doing? That works. That works a little bit. Soar, how you doing? You haven't bought Tears of the Kingdom, even though it's Breath of the Wild is probably your favorite game of all time. Oh, dude. Oh my god. I'll say I feel you in a certain extent. Like, yeah, you know, I played Breath of the Wild and I really loved it. You know, it wasn't like it's not like my favorite game or even close, but I really loved it. You know, it's definitely one of my favorite games. And high in that year, which was a really strong year for what it's worth, but let's go ahead and get back up the docket, by the way. full-sized. Next up, J-Blood. I'll say I think Tears of the Kingdom is like 100 times better. Like, holy hell, holy Jesus. And I've even heard from like people who hated Breath of the Wild saying like, yeah, Tears of the Kingdom is doing it for me. Turns out, if you have a physics playground, and you don't have that many tools, some people don't appreciate it. They just think like, oh, this is like a really clunky open world game. But in this game, there's so many tools and weird vehicles and nuts and bolts stuff and weird goofy shits to play with and to goof around with and to put together. And it's like very clear that like, oh, even the people who didn't figure it out the first time are realizing like, this is a physics playground. This is a playground. And look at all these wonderful toys. Holy shit. You know, the last time you had like big ice cube and bombs. Those are normal. Those are normal things to have mostly. And like you could do some stuff with like an Octorok balloon, right? But also those things lasted like so they were so ephemeral that it really wasn't worth doing. But you know, occasionally you hear like someone did a thing and you'd be like, oh, that's cool. No one else is gonna do that though. But the game's still great though, and it's fun to climb mountains. But now it's like, you have so many fucking tools. It's amazing. J-Blood. Let me at J-Blood. Well, actually, hang on. J-Blood was here when the queue was empty. In cases where the queue was empty at the time where they got it in, I do count that as being present. You know, I play my own levels just to buy some time and just to make it so that the lightning round does have some consequence even when the queue is empty. But let's go. This is, by the way, a very hard puzzle level. I really don't get it yet. I have a shell. No Kaizo tricks are involved. That's all I know. We tried this like a little bit ago. I think I wonder if there's like a hidden block to hit. What if I tried to like throw the shell on top of the thing up there? Okay, so it can't go over. There's like weird slopes at the top of the screen. How are you doing that? It's scroll lock. It must be scroll lock. Is it scroll lock? Because the top of the screen isn't moving. Oh, maybe it's not. It's not, maybe it's only hidden blocks are under the bridge. It's not scroll lock, it's just that you can't jump very high right now, so... You can't jump very high right now. Hello, Corbin Corn. Corbin Corn, how you doing? You're not the only corn-based, user in this here chat. Let me tell you. I'm pretty sure I can't win without the thing. I have an idea. This might be really obvious. If this is the solution, then we will all feel very silly. I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna spin jump on it. No, that's not it. That's not enough height. And by the way, folks, if you have ideas, I'll say I'm not opposed to other people suggesting. Second time, just join the stream with another corn. That's right. Corn is good for you is another like corn-based user who also goes by Droopman sometimes. Wait, there's a spring over there. There's a spring over there under the booze, I just noticed. So I think what we want to do is we want to throw the shell over to the spring, and then can we jump on the shell when it's bouncing on springs? Without a spin jump? I'm not sure how we get that distance. Okay. You have seen this level? That's interesting. No one has beat it as yet, so, you know, the mystery has not been solved. I think maybe run and... No, that's not enough distance. Maybe like a down. Maybe like drop it down. The first step is sneaky. You know how? You know, Corbin, I'll say I'm not opposed to speculation and, you know, all of us working together to figure this out. And I'll also say, like, honestly, if J-Blood wants to give us hints, that's also allowed, is fine. A little bit of backseating is cool. Lay it on me. What do you think? Give me your what's the first step here, you think? If it's something sneaky, according to J Blood, what do you think it is? There's invisible blocks, by the way, beneath these platforms, so you can't just jump up. But at least the semi-solid. Did that turtle just kill me? I think the turtle just killed me. Whoops. Well, damn it. That is the lightning round for you. I will say, have you tried clearing the level? I haven't tried that. No. You gotta throw the shell. Oh, and Corbin, Pascal said no Kaizo, so that not a shell jump. I don't believe. Not a shell jump in this case. Look at more info here. Okay, well actually we can see the rest of the screen here. There's through the door, one door is a bomb. So that might kill you, actually, if you just go through there. Unless you have Yoshi, and then you can jump on the Yoshi and not get killed. Or jump off the Yoshi and not get killed, so that's interesting. Anything else we can determine from the setup? See anything? There's a P-switch under the question mark block over there. Isn't that interesting? How can that come into play? We'd have to destroy a block. You have to throw the shell up. I tried throwing the shell into that little corner up there with where the P block is that we can see on the thumbnail. Oh, crap. I'm covering up the thumbnail. Let me, I'll move myself over here so you can see it. You see that P? You see that P over there? The P over there under the place where there was like a question mark block? Something about that P looks suspicious. Anyway, thank you for the level, Corbin Corn. I'm going to return to my traditional corner. I should, by the way, make sure that whenever I have cases where there's something important in that corner, I move to the other corner, since it's pretty easy now. It's pretty easy right now to do that. I just have to go into my camera controls on my lovely Stream Deck, which you can't see. Well, maybe just this once. Maybe just this once. Or, you know, whenever I feel like it. You know, pan downwards. Why is not that panning downwards? Oh, the tracking is doing that, okay. See there, it's the Stream Deck. Hotkeys, you know? My camera is pretty cool. It's a very cool hotkey. It's a very cool camera. Refresh my lives. Next level is Boa Live. Boa Live, go ahead and confirm. And I'll say again how this works for those who don't know. If you're up when your level comes up, I give it the full time of day, which during the lightning round, which is what is right now, means 5 tries and 7 for subs, refreshing at checkpoints. And if you're not here, we do it in sudden death instead, which is 2 tries, refreshing at checkpoints. You know, which is fewer, as you can tell. I'm gonna at Boa Live. Let Boa Live know that they are up. You are up. Meanwhile, while I'm typing this in, I'm going to do another card and talk about what's on it. Still thinking about getting Diablo 4. You know, it is the sort of thing where I've heard great things about it. You know, I don't know if it, like, the skill tree system looks like it's really to my taste. I was really partial to the Diablo 3 system, but, you know, I've seen people saying that, like, oh, it's like game of all time for me, which, or like, you know, up there in that conversation with Tears of the Kingdom for Game of the Year, which, honestly, when I hear that sort of thing, and it's not like something that I have no interest in, like, you know, like no interest at all in, like, you know, say, there are games that people say, like, oh, Final Fantasy VII is the best game of the year. And I'm like, yeah, it's not really my genre, but I really like Diablo 3 and really got deep into that because I gave it a chance. So there's really no reason for me not to get it. Just, I don't know, I've not been in the mood, I haven't been trusting Blizzard, but, you know, Blizzard of late has been really a mixed bag to where I didn't really have any confidence they could get it done, but people say they have, so I'm very, very curious. I don't think I can get it because I only have a Switch. Yeah, you need to have either like a really beefy PC, which I'll say like I'm probably gonna get the console version this time, which I was PC the first time because, you know, that's all it was on at launch. But I'm gonna get the console version, I think, just because I can rely on my Xbox Series X performing it really good. And also people say the console controls are good. They say they're great, in fact. Like, really surprisingly good. For a series that everyone said for years couldn't come to, like, consoles for just, you know, it's always going to be better on a PC, and then it came to consoles and like, oh shit, we actually like it. It's more casual. I don't see... Your Xbox got stolen? God, that's terrible. I don't see Bo alive. I'm going to go in. Sudden death here. 2 tries, refreshing a checkpoint. Bo alive, if you are here, just speak up and you will get converted into the full lightning round. Now, what the hell are we gotta do here? This is one hell of a challenge right here. Jesus, I don't know if I could do it even with the full assortment of guys. Let me do one more card before we make the second go. Maybe Corbin will... Maybe Bo Alive... Sorry, Corbin, I mixed up the names for a second there. Maybe Bo Alive will pop in and give us a couple more lives to do this with. Need to find some more time. Time for more square meals. I'll say recently, I've gotten into the bad habits of, like, you know... With, like, a... Fuck. Weirder sleep schedule going on. I've had... Thank you for the little Bo Alive. If you're here, speak up and I'll do the thing. I've had trouble. I'll do 3 more tries, you know? Refreshing at a checkpoint. It would be 5 at a checkpoint if it were to refresh. I've gotten in the habit of, like, just rolling out of bed and going directly to work, you know, just starting working, like, right away. You know, just, okay, wake up, work, and then only later, like, throw together, like, a lunch or a breakfast, you know, like a few hours into working. And as a result, you know, you can't exactly have 2 meals if they're that close together, right? Like, oh, it's 2 p.m. It's time to have some, lunch or breakfast. It's like, okay, well, I guess I'm not having a lunch then. Or if like, okay, I'm just going directly to lunch today. Guess not having a breakfast. I oftentimes would do this previously on, like, weekends or whatever, where I slept in until, like, very late, but only recently I've gotten into the habit of just starting work, like, right off, just going directly into work from wake up, without passing, like, the, without any breakfast. You can't skip breakfast. It's the first deal of the day, no matter what. You're just having lunch for breakfast. That's a very philosophical way to do it, but then, what, no lunch? Does lunch not exist? What if you don't have any breakfast? What if you just go directly to dinner? Yesterday... Let me tell you what I had yesterday. I had eggs and bagels for breakfast, very late, and then right before a 10-hour stream, I just had 10 chicken wings that I had leftovers from the other day. And I ate nothing else yesterday because it was way too late by the time I was going to bed. I gotta find time for 3. That's the rule of thumb, 3. That's the rule of 3. You want 3 meals. That'll still be breakfast if it's the first meal, if you just go directly to dinner. I will say sometimes, you know, I like to go... I say I like to go. I have family dinner, right? Family dinner on, like, Saturdays often. And sometimes I'm getting up at, like, 3 p.m. because I went really late on watching some other streamer or something overnight, or watching anime. And I'm just getting up at, like, 3 p.m. just like, hell yeah, I slept in. And when you get up at 3 p.m., it turns out like, yeah, dinner's at 6. Maybe I can have a lunch, but maybe that would be a bad idea just because, you know, spoil your appetite. I say that, I don't think my appetite has ever gotten spoiled by eating lunch like a few hours before dinner, when I haven't had anything overnight, you know? But still, you get some sort of pushback of like, hey, don't eat, we're having dinner at 6. It's 4? That's too late, that's too late. My appetite has never been spoiled, though. I have a hearty appetite. I just really need to find a breakfast, lunch, dinner. Should be non-negotiable. But too often, it has been negotiated. Who's next? Hey, Sonic fan, thank you for the follow, and thank you for the level. The only way you can skip breakfast is not eating for an entire day. That is a way to look at it. So what about, like, snacks? Like, if you eat a bowl of ice cream first thing in the morning, is that breakfast? If you eat, like, a chocolate bar, is that breakfast? A midnight snack after waking up in the middle of the night, that's not breakfast. What about midnight snacks if you've been sleeping? If you, like, sleep, wake up, and go, oh, I want a midnight snack, is that breakfast? I don't think that's breakfast. Bro is thinking in 4 dimensions, says Sonic fans. I'm glad you appreciate the banter. That's why I do it, so that y'all can have fun listening to me and stuff going on about whatever the fuck, you know. Otherwise, I would maybe be like trying to think of things to think about. It's a meal and it's at midnight. But what if you slept? Would that not be a fast breaking? Pasquale, go ahead and confirm. Let me at Pasquale. Let them know that they are up. You are up. For those who don't know how this works, if you're up when your level comes up, I give it the full time of day, which in the lightning round, which is this whole stream, by the way, is oops all lightning round. It's been all lightning round all day today, all this stream. During the lightning round, I only have 5 tries to beat each level, refreshing at checkpoints, and 7 for subs. And if you're not here when your level comes up, I instead do it in sudden death, which means a lot fewer tries, basically. Only 2 of them, refreshing at checkpoints. So keep that all in mind, and you know, when your turn comes up, do speak up. That would be ideal. Let me do another card. Looking to walk more frequently, though less frequently than in the past. Decided this week that twice a week is a good compromise. I've been having trouble trying to fit in like 3 walks a week, which used to be my standard, used to be my weekly allotment of like exercise, right? Like a 2-mile walk, 2 2-mile walks, and like 1 that goes a good distance longer. I've been having trouble fitting those in because, you know, I stream 3 times a week, so that takes up a bunch of days where it's harder to, you know, get in a good walk. But my plan going forward is to try at least to get 2 per week, and be happy with that. You know, 2 big walks a week, that's better than 0. And, you know, if I'm holding myself accountable and making sure I do it, it should be fun. And I'll say, I'll show a picture. Look at that. The thing I like about walking is that, you know, it's nice, it's low stress, it's low effort. You do it at your own pace, and you get to see all sorts of lovely nature. Like, look at those goddamn clouds. They came through really well during that last walk I did on, I walked on Wednesday, last Wednesday. Look at those. I also saw a copperhead, which is a kind of snake that's very poisonous, it turns out. I didn't fuck with it, I just took a picture from like a good distance away using my camera's 3x optical zoom. One time I got a good picture of a good photo of a squirrel. Oh my god. I wish I could. I wanna just like pull something up real fast for y'all, because I got the most amazing picture of a squirrel from a couple years ago. You know what? Let me pull that up. It wasn't during a walk. This was before I walked. I'll tell you my history of walking right now. Somehow see a bird up close. I love taking. I'll say at my office, when I had an office like years ago, there used to be birds. They would always like sit on the windowsills, and I used to love walking over and taking pictures of them. Let me see if I can find the picture I'm thinking of in this haystack of pictures from every year ever. Let's see, it was while there was an office. Hang on, let me see if I can, if it knows well enough to know squirrel, because it's a great picture. So I'll tell you about my history of like walking. So as I like moved out into my own place, right, I used to try like other sorts of exercise, right? I used to try like other sorts of exercise, like running on treadmills, and I just found it too intense, made my feet hurt. Oh, I found pictures of Marvel Snap when I searched for squirrel. Okay, not as good as the. You know what? What I can do? Okay, I can do this. Photos on the phone. Squirrel. Yeah, I think I got it. I wonder if this is gonna be okay. That's the context here. Okay, let me pull up this photo on my and send it to like myself on Discord, sort of. How do I find it? God damn it, it's always so hard to find photos. Squirrel. And send it to yourself. Okay, perfect. I got like a handful of pictures of squirrels. I'm going to change out this image live of the thing, and I'm going to change it into a picture of a squirrel for you. I am opening it in paint.net now, and I'm going to get a picture of a squirrel in like 2 seconds. But first, let me review like I started walking like as a office thing. Like at the office, they said like, oh, everyone take a minute and like walk around the office, walk around the block. And turns out I really enjoyed that. So I ended up doing it like after the office like closed due to the pandemic. Ended up doing that on my own time and just enjoying taking big long walks, you know, out and about. We'll call that and really, really nice as a form of exercise, and I would recommend it. It's what I find works best for me, especially because honestly, I'm not like trying to like lose a ton of weight or anything. I'm not trying to lose a ton of weight or like get really in shape. What I'm really looking for is endurance and also the ability to go the distance, you know? When I want to be able to like walk far and still be standing and still be like good for it, you know? That's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for anything else in particular. Just the very practical, I want to be able to walk long distances and still have enough gas in the chamber to keep going. I've sort of become a theme park person as of late, so that has provided also more motivation to really like keep at it and to make it good. I'm gonna pull this snake down for a second, replace it by a squirrel, and here we go. The moment you've all been waiting for. Look at this squirrel. Look at this good picture of a squirrel. You can see his little nutsack there. Isn't that interesting? Just a very good picture of a squirrel with huge, huge testicles. Those things are huge. Aren't those big? Like, goddamn. I saw that and I was like, holy fucking shit. Honestly, I thought the photo was a bit better. Maybe I like cropped it or something at some point. It's not as high quality. Maybe also I'm a little spoiled because I have the new phone. The new phone, you know? I have the new phone with the better camera. If I had gotten a picture of that squirrel today, like, goddamn, you would see it in such high resolution, let me tell you. Anyway, I really liked walking, trying to fit it into my life. The only problem with walking is it takes like an hour or two to do like a couple miles. Or maybe not an hour or two, maybe like an hour to do like 2 miles. Maybe like 45 minutes to do 2 miles, maybe like, or somewhere between a half hour and like 45 minutes to do 2 miles, and maybe more along the lines of like an hour or 2 or 3 to do like 4, 5, 6, and also you have to keep hydrated, you know, water. And I will say to that thing, I have thought about bikes. I have thought about bikes a bit recently. You know, I used to have bikes as a kid, but I haven't had bikes since I moved out into my own place. And also my family don't have bikes either. I guess they don't really live in a place that's really ideal for biking. But I remember it being fun, and it's probably like a good form of exercise in that, like, yeah, it's less strenuous. 3 miles an hour. Yeah, so they do 2, maybe more like somewhere between a half hour and 45 minutes. I will say I walk kind of slow, and also I stop to take pictures and stuff whenever I fancy it, so, you know, I'm not winning the foot race at the pace I go, but, you know, hey, it's not really important like how fast you walk. Just that you enjoy the walk and that you go the distance. I have thought about, you know, biking and whatever. I bet that would be a good way to fit in, like, a more practical workout into a smaller time that would be, like, efficient. My last place, ow, even had, like, bike racks that you could do, and, like, a whole bike room. My current apartment doesn't have that, but I bet you could figure it out, right? I bet you could figure out, like, where to do that. Where were we? Pasquale said I like squirrels. Were we waiting for Pasquale? We were waiting for Pasquale, weren't we? Perfect, we bought enough time. Okay. With that squirrel and his, glorious nuts. National Geographic here. You think National Geographic, you think about, were there 6 Pikmin there? Might have been on cooldown or something. Did we see... I'm not sure all the Pikmin, we got all the Pikmin we needed there, so let me just... I'll just pop you a 20 real fast. There we go! Ah, there we go. That's enough for whatever. I think sometimes if there's overlap, it might get choked up a little bit. I'm not sure what goes on with that. Streamer's choice, you got it. You got it. Let's do your first one. Fundamental. Ooh, this one looks clearable. This one looks people have cleared it, and a lot of them have. Let's go. Certainly if I ever got a house, if I ever moved out of an apartment into like houses and shit, I would love, I think I would get a bike, and you know, that would actually, if I'm thinking about it, make it easier to like get in a bike ride or something during like a stream day. This doesn't look good. I don't like the look of this at all. And I think that'd be cool. You know what? We need to be small. That's the solution there. And it'd be handy, like, to just get in, like, a 10-minute bike ride. I don't even know. What's a good bike ride length? What's a good, like, mileage for a bike ride? Oh, we don't have to be small at all. We just have to be lucky. I always used to do it based on just, like, the length of the loops around, like, the creek that I used to live around as a kid. That creek had a fantastic bike trail, bike path, and, do you think Mario would ride a bike? Absolutely. Mario would ride anything. Mario has ridden some goofy stuff. He rode a motorcycle, a little moped in Odyssey. So he has, in fact, ridden a bike, but maybe not the kind where you ring a bell. You know, like an actual, like, powered by your footsies. You know, he might have trouble reaching the wheels because he's very short. You know, reaching the pedals. I know you don't. It's been a while since I rode a bike, but I do know that you don't pedal the wheels, you pedal the pedals. He's ridden an actual motorcycle as well. That's true, yeah. That's even a better example than Odyssey. Actual, for real, motorcycles. Well, goddamn, we died again. You make some tough levels with some tough jumps. We probably should have just been small for that. You know what? Next time we'll be small for that. I want to give that. I know I said that about every level from you I played, and we've just went out and seen a new one, but I would like to try this one again. Next up, Corbin again. So yeah, that's a thought I've had as far as like a second form of exercise that I could go with. I think it would have to be like biking. I don't like the ones that are in place. I don't like treadmills. I don't like the footsie ones, and I don't like a stationary bike. I want an actual bike going through actual nice woods. And I will say, like, Corbin Corn is confirmed, by the way. I will say, like, there are things you can't do on a bike. Like, you can't listen to podcasts, really, I don't think. Back when I rode bicycles, we didn't have iPods so much. Well, maybe you had, like, an iPod, but that was it. But you don't listen to music while you ride a bike. That's important. And I do like listening to podcasts and shit while I'm walking, you know? And looking at the, like, Discords and stuff. And doing other such things. And you can't do any of that on the bike. It's just more to the point and directed, but still I think that would be like the second exercise activity that would be good to me. Other ones I've tried in the past, I've tried yoga. I thought yoga was alright, it's just I'm very, very not flexible, and also it takes a really long time to have like the least intensive workout you can get. Like, even a good walk beats yoga for like strain, I think. I don't have the figures. I don't know if that's true, but it sounds true, don't it? Thank you for the follow, Limitless Super Mario Maker. I appreciate it. I've tried, like I said, jogging. I've tried like treadmill stuff, all the machines. They're just not for me. Walking and I will say a weird thing about yoga is I think it made me good at, like, push-ups. Like, I could suddenly do push-ups, not because I gained any strength, just because I realized, like, oh, if you shift your weight around while doing a push-up, it's actually very easy to do. Or, like, relatively easy. You know, rather than just lifting with your arms. You want to, like, lift with your back? That's not good. You want to, like, shift your weight around to get, like, off the ground. It's different. Oh, hey, another follow. I haven't done yoga in, like, 5 years, I'll say. But I still have a yoga mat, like, in, like, on the ground. In, like, you know, back there behind me. Sort of, like, lined up, like, in a place where I could do yoga and see the TV. I don't think yeah, that would mean I've never done yoga at this place. 5 years. Maybe even not at the last place, though. You know what? Don't quote me on that. I maybe could have at some point. Okay, here is not the way. We need to go down. Ah. No cheese. That's right. No cheese. Does this take a while? Fucking this is gonna take a while, huh? I'll do another card and talk about it. Do y'all lose sleep in want of a stopping point? Been thinking about this recently. You know, as I've had many a stream go along because I wanted to get to a natural stopping point, wanted to finish the thing I was doing. You know, for a lot of Pikmin streams I did in the recent past, I had a whole concept of like, okay, I'm doing 3 levels of each game, so I cannot stop until I've done 3 levels from each game. But at least those streams, they started early, so if it took 10 hours, you know, it wouldn't be like nearly work time. But yesterday, I really wanted to do Mario or Majora's Mask randomizer in one go, so I just kept trying for 10 hours until such time where I had to say, like, okay, I have a work meeting in, like, an hour, so I need to stop, actually. You know, the stream cannot go into the workday. That is not allowed. That is, I'm pretty sure I would get in like, trouble, you know, if that were to happen. It would be all manner of wrong. I think there's something... I don't know, like, which ones... We have to jump in one of these holes? I think we have to jump into one of these holes. Will any of them do? Down the side, maybe? Okay, good. Down the side is fine. And I'll say, like, that's true of just other things, right? Like, you know, if I'm reading a book, I like to end on a chapter. You know, on a chapter divide, right? And if the chapter divide is, like, 30 minutes away via audiobook, it's just like, okay, I guess I'm gonna go to sleep in a half hour. You know, that probably is something I should not be holding myself to, right? Or like, oh, I want to watch a good episode of anime to end the night. You know, one little episode, and it's just like, yeah, that adds an extra half hour to the night. You know, just looking for that extra stopping point. And I was kind of wondering if this is like an experience y'all have. Do y'all ever just... Are y'all ever just, like, looking for that last thing and being like, okay, one last thing, let's end on a good note. I guess I say that in order to lead up to, like, I should probably, like, be more willing to say, like, okay, it's time to stop. The stream is over at a good time rather than just going, like, 10 hours. And I'll say, like, obviously, my Mario Maker streams aren't a problem. They don't go that long. They go, like, a good 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Which is a good length for a stream, I think. But some of the other ones, they have gotten away from me. And I'll say that that also happens just in my day-to-day life. Just me just looking for, like, okay, I want to end on this one, but I also want to watch these 3 ones. You know? Is this your awkward way of ending the stream? No, I still have more things to talk about, which will be also awkward. I think I have like 5 more cards. You'll know when we end the stream because I'll hit a button that says the queue is open, and then we'll play the last levels that are in the queue. And it'll probably be timed around the time where I run out of cards, because then it's like, okay. And I'll say, by the way, we're like 2 hours in. The average stream I've done of Mario Maker has been more like 3 or 4 hours. Somewhere in between there. That said, I was, like I said earlier, in that whole spiel, I did say I went into the last stream. The last stream was 10 hours long, ended it right around like 7 a.m. Morning meeting at 8 a.m. And then I got like a few hours of sleep, like an hour or 2, and then had a very intense day of work since then. So I should be really tired, but somehow I am wired right now. I feel a lot less drowsy than I did on Monday. And I'll say it again. The melatonin, man. I was taking melatonin. That was just making me drowsy all day. Maybe the lack of melatonin is making it much easier for me to, like, be awake right now. Just, like, my body getting used to not having so much of it anymore. Just being like, hey, no more melatonin. Everything's good. Stay awake. Don't get drowsy. Okay. Shit. You know? Like, turns out, taking melatonin for a month and then not doing so is like the best. Is like the best for that. I don't know if there was an alert, but I see a follow from what's it? TNS YouTube. I think you are up. Well, let's see. I'm gonna hit. We didn't finish that one, did we? Did we finish that one? Let me check. 1 second. I'm sorry, I got so caught up in my whole spiel, you know? I'm looking at the wrong place. I'm looking at uploaded courses. Yeah, we finished it. Okay, I'm gonna hit complete, and then next. Perfect. Next up is TNS YouTube. Perfect. Or YT. And again, thank you for the follow. I'm not sure if I saw the alert or if the alert went through. If the alert didn't go through, that's weird. Maybe I just missed it. Maybe I just missed it in the moment of, you know, talking about stuff. Or maybe it's just very, very, very delayed. Maybe Stream Elements is being weird. You're welcome. I'm welcome. Yes, I am. I'll say I haven't gotten much sleep, but I am wired. I think I'm good to go for like a little more. Let me do another card to talk about. This one might be bordering on oversharing. Follow up on dating app stuff. I will say, like last week, I was sort of expressing an interest of being like, yeah, you know, I went to a wedding like a couple of weeks ago of my sister, and I was thinking like, I kind of would like to meet people again. You know, I haven't done that or tried that really since before the pandemic. You know, or before I became a streamer, either or. And I started like putting together a thing and trying out the Bumble, which apparently is the new streaming app these days that people use. They don't use the OkCupid anymore, I was told. Which, hey, it's different, but probably a smarter way to do so, because with OkCupid, it was very easy to like get to the bottom of the barrel and be like, okay, here are your matches. And it's like, okay, I could see from 100% to 50%, these are all of them. And it's like, okay, but what do I look at next? Who do I do next? And it's like, I guess you look at 40%, or someone who's a little bit farther out, or someone who has like a deal breaker for you, I guess. And it's just like, oh, that's kind of bums you out, right? But with the whole thing where it's just swipes now, you can just keep going, I guess. I'll say I haven't really been I feel like the problem with dating apps whenever I've tried them in the past or even this time is that whenever I see a dating app profile, I always feel nothing. I feel like we have to go in each of these pipes and do a red coin challenge. I think that's the structure here. Oh, that's not hard at all. Just a little bit of, like, damage abuse. I always look at the profiles and always think, like, I feel nothing. I feel nothing here. Like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just really hard and really impossible to make a good dating app profile that, like, conveys how much you would like the person actually talking to them, you know? And I'll say, like, I talk to people all the time here on Twitch, and, like, y'all are fantastic, and I would like to believe. Hydrate? Yeah, that's a good idea. My lips are getting really chapped. Ugh. Phlegm. I have to believe that, like, there are as likable people and as cool people out there to meet, you know, in real life, as there are in Twitch chat or online or in all the online spaces I go to. You know, I feel it's very easy to, like, talk to people and, like, hang out and stuff. Oh, we're doing a damage boost here. No! Oh, crap. We lost the thing. We're gonna have to get lucky maybe and do another. That might be it. We might not be able to do it. Hey, Ratchet Toad, how's it going? Can we go back there and use this star to get through? Ah, no. And the thing is spent. Ooh, we might be in trouble, folks. Or maybe not. Maybe we just need... Maybe the coin is... Well, it was a key, right? Not sure. How you doing, Ratchet Toad? Wait, so this one leads back to the exit. This one's the one we need to go. You're going in the queue? Fantastic. That is the intent of a viewer level stream. For levels to go in the queue and for me to play them in good order. Oh, okay, cool. I guess whatever the deal with that was, we don't need them. I think we're good. You know, of course, we got, like, plenty of lives left, so even if we were to die, we'd be able to get through. Anyway, I'm not sure, like, really if I'll continue long-term, like, trying to do dating app stuff, or even if I'll find someone. I've never had much luck with this. I am sort of intrigued of, like, what if, you know, should I try the kind of thing where I don't go through an app, where instead I just, like, talk to people? I bet, like, if I just talk to people, you know, in, like, a blind date type setting, I bet, like, their charisma and their, like, personalities would shine through more than they do in like over a dating app profile. And maybe, you know, maybe that's the true with everyone. Maybe like my personality and my charm would shine through with a conversation more than it would just like, hey, here's 3 paragraphs that I wrote and some pictures. I hope you realize that I'm like you know, what kind of guy I am just from that. And, you know, whatever. But also, you know, I have a lot of deal breakers and a lot of things I'm not really down for. And, you know, it might not be all that efficient really to do it that. I don't know. I'm thinking about stuff, trying to work that shit out. In addition to doing like all the million other things I need to think about, like eating good and exercising and playing y'all's Mario Maker levels and doing the streaming on a regular basis. All right, that was the level. We beat it. Very good. Hitting complete and hitting next. Sonic fan, go ahead and confirm. You said hydrate like a minute ago. I think you're good for it. You're gonna do another card. What do y'all think of dating people with kids? This is something I do have to think about when, you know, doing dating app stuff, because, like, yeah, you know, I really don't think I want kids. I don't think I like kids. And, you know, I'm not sold on kids. And the only context in which I would be able to be sold on kids is like, well, I could see... Honestly, here's how I feel about kids. I'm not sold on them. I don't think that, like... I'm not really a fan of the kids I've met. But you know what? Maybe if I had, like, someone made of my own flesh and blood, maybe it would be cool. Maybe they would be a cool kid. You know, like the one cool kid that exists. Like, that'd be the only circumstance, I think, where I would be, like, down to like, get to know a kid. If it was, like, one that I made and would, like, you know, like, further my bloodline and shit. You know? You know, sometimes... I don't know if this is like a common thing that people say when you're like the only male in a family, you know, like the only male descendant of like your dad or whatever, you know. Some people say like, oh, you gotta like you know, keep up the Doyle line, you know. You gotta go procreate because you know, your sister, she's now got a new last name, you know. So you gotta go keep that alive. And I'll say like, well, you know, it's kind of a very common last name, you know. I wouldn't really be doing it for the name so much as like my genetic material, because, you know, that's like a prime directive of life forms and all, you know, that sort of drive and all. Let me pound it in. Anyway, I don't think I'm really like looking, and I know that I remember, like, I've seen people say, like, well, the thing is, you can date people with kids without really wanting kids, you know? Just, if it doesn't work, it's probably not going to work out anyway, so you can just date them, and if it does work out and you do really love them, then, like, there's a question of, would it be worth it to, you know, take on their kids and whatever? Which is, like, a whole different conversation. Personally, I think it makes more sense with, like, people who have kids, you know, to have, like, a Brady Bunch situation. Like, that's the thing that makes sense to me. Brady Bunch situations. When it comes to, like, people like me and people who have, like, kids and shit, I just think of, like, AJ from The Sopranos. I think of Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad. In those relationships where they ended up with a girl that had kids and they were just, like, immediately out of their element of, like, oh, hey, it's very clear I'm just a very, very large child who has just suddenly realized that, like, oh, crap. This is a serious time, huh? Like, we're not just playing video games and having fun anymore and dealing, you know, the thing that they do on Breaking Bad is a show about dealing drugs, by the way, and cooking meth, by the way, if you didn't know. It's not just that anymore. Now there's a kid involved. And, you know... Are we doing a title level? Is this a title level? I don't know. It's a full recreation of the poster level, apparently. Says the description. Yes, I should pay attention. I'm sorry, I got cut off in my my spiel. You know, I think we only have a few cards left, so that is a weird one to have the power up be right next to it. This is literally the one from the box art, isn't it? The one from like the box art from all those posters. Fucking playing it now, I realize this is a weird fucking level. Like, this is just stuff. This is just stuff put together in like a somewhat appealing way, you know? It looks good, but when you play it, it's like, wow, this is really just stuff. Just stuff. I thought that was really interesting, Sonic fan. Thank you for the level. That's, you know, I don't think I've ever seen anyone just put that together, actually. If it's like a common thing, I don't know that I've heard of it. Or if I had heard of it, I've completely forgot about that as a thing. Was there stuff in, like, the sky that we didn't see? It doesn't look like it. Not really. Just, like, some hollow, some transparent pipes and stuff. Sonic fan says, yes, there was. Okay. I guess there was some stuff, so never mind what I said. I was wrong. Complete. Next. Search up the poster and you'll get, like, the full level. What do you mean? Like, there's a full level version of that somewhere? Like, did one that Nintendo made, or what? Or, like, some that someone else made? Or is it in the single player or something? Ratchet Toad, you are up. Look at that. Your turn is here already. Another card. Been playing Marvel Snap. Haven't had time yet to react to the OVA balance updates. Yeah, so like I've said many times this stream, I've been like really swamped with like long stream that went way too long, into work, no sleep, barely any sleep, into this here stream. So since the patch hit, I haven't had time to like actually play around with it other than to play like a few matches before work, between the stream ending, getting like a little bit of you know, a relaxing bath and stuff to unwind, and you know, going right into work. So I've only played a few. These changes, which I could show by the way, they're right here. Look at that. I sourced the changes from the OTA balance update from Snap.Zone, Snapzone, Marvel Snap Zone, something like that. Oh, you mean there's other levels that do the same idea? Gotcha. Okay, that's cool. That's a cool challenge, just to make something that's just one screen into a full level that's like cohesive. What I'll say, just a little tangent here. One cool idea I have for like a level challenge that I want to do for myself at some point is to be like, okay, the first half of this level is entirely a DKC remake. You know, entirely just straight up a remake of a DKC level. Then in the second half, I have to take it in an entirely different direction. But it has to be coherent, it has to make sense, but, you know, it has to be such that you couldn't tell that it didn't always go right into the new second half. Just, you know, a half remix level. I think that'd be a really bizarre thing, especially if someone knows the level. They'd be like, what? That'd be like a weird, like, it's like if you played 1-1 and halfway in the level it became just an entirely new thing. They've probably done that before, somewhere in history. Anyway, those were the changes. They buffed Rogue and Medusa, which I have been saying for a long time that Medusa should get buffed into a 5, into becoming a 5 drop when you play her on the middle location. Hello, Zona2, how you doing? But they also nerfed, like, hello, Joe Rogues, hey, how you doing? Thank you for level. Hello, everyone. They nerfed Spider-Man and the Beast, which I'll tell you, two big parts of some decks that I've been running recently. Like, Spider-Man is big in my Guardians deck, and the Beast is big in my my bounce decks. Which I'll say, like, I don't care that much about the hood. That's probably a good change. And I'll say, like, my Guardians deck, which pictured here before the nerf, which made Spider-Man into a 5-cost card. Before the nerf, you could play Spider-Man into Professor X and have a really good, like, strong play because, like, haha, you can't play in that lane, and also I locked that lane down. But it was still hard to win the other lanes, even if you locked down that lane, you know? So I didn't think it was too overpowered or anything, but apparently they disagreed. I don't know if I love the pacing of things, you know, of changes. It feels like every 2 weeks you really have to reinvent your deck because they change cards. They change your cards like a whole bunch. You know, they change the balance, and that Makes you have to rework things. I hope that the patch next week has changes to High Evolutionary. Even though I'm on the verge of getting him, he probably needs like a big nerf. And not just like lower stats or anything, just like a big nerf. You know? Okay, let's do it. Still loving Marvel Snap. And I'll say, like, they're about to roll out a new mode, which is fascinating. You know, it basically is the multiplayer mode they added like a while ago, except now it has matchmaking, so people can play it rather than no one ever playing it ever. Because, you know, who sets up like play dates for like Marvel Snap? I'll tell you, not very many people. Streamers, I guess. I've been in communities, in Discords, that are full of people playing Marvel Snap. You know, with like active channels, very active channels, full of people talking about the decks they're building, posting pictures of the kick-ass games that they just won. Like, oh, look at this game. You won't believe like how this victory came together. Isn't this interesting? And I always say, yes, it's interesting. I love to see it. And it's true, I do love to see it. I found out what to do here. That nice. But even then, I have never gotten the opportunity to like participate in a Marvel Snap dual mode thing, whatever it's called, the previous new mode that they did. And now that it's going to be like an arena style mode, I'll probably check it out a good deal, and probably will be good when I am, you know, looking to play a deck that I don't care if it wins or loses, right? Like currently, if you want to play a deck that's like not the best, you're probably just wasting your ranked points doing so. But in this case, you'll be able to just do it and not have to worry all that much about it, you know? I bet you, I'll say this. The next stream is a Sunday stream, by the way. Again, I'll say I'm gonna watch the Microsoft thing, and then finish that Majora's Mask randomizer I got really deep into last night. But I'll say, by that next stream, I would fully expect that I will probably be done. I will probably have High Evolution by that point. I will bet. The code is for your Batman-themed RPG. I saw that, by the way. That's cool. Can't wait to see it. What exactly does an RPG mean in the Mario Maker context? I mean, I guess I've seen a few levels like that before. Where, like, there's, like, some sort of, like, pipe answer choice thing set up. Was that the first time we died, actually, since the checkpoint? I think we needed to refresh our lives, and we didn't, by mistake. But also, that death takes us down back to 1. This is the lightning round, by the way, if you don't know. It's a whole thing here on the stream. And it keeps us moving, you know, through levels. Pretty good thing. You have to drop and float. Gotcha. Noted. I think I have, like, one more card left. And if I don't, I have, like, maybe, oops. If I don't, I only have, like, 2 or 3 left, so I think we should start thinking about when the end of the stream will be, and, wrapping up. And I think right now, let's see, Ratchet Toad just had one. 2 more levels after this one, and we'll close the queue. 2 more levels after this one. After that, the queue will be closed, and we will finish off all the levels that are in the queue. Actually, you know what? Let's do 1 level after this one. Let's do 1. You know, we're 2.5 hours in. That's a good time to close her up and you know, wind down. Some sort of hint room? Oh no, this is where I came, isn't it? I ended up going back. You explore the level and solve various Riddler puzzles. Ah, gotcha, okay. So it's like a high concept level, basically. There'll be like secrets that are like themed to Riddler, like in those Arkham games. Oh God! Well, you're able to stay up in the air though, so it's not as scary as it seems on first glance. We have a time limit now. That's a nice little sequence. That's a nice little bit. Great level. Fantastic. Enjoyed it. Great use of all the 3D world propeller hats. That's a fun mechanic, and it's hard to make work in like a traditional way, or like semi-traditional or like technical way. You don't see it all that often, and it's always good. I like it. How many times have I used in my super world that hat? Unfortunately, not very many times. I think I've used it only in cases where I was very specifically building around it. And building around it in very specific ways, like... Actually, Unmoored Mines has it. Coastal Cup 5 has it. Is it in any other ones? Did I say Koopaverse has it? Yeah, Koopaverse 1, Arsenal Antics, has it. That's sort of like an Animal Antics type level, you see. So, makes sense for it to have that power-up. I guess I have used it a fair amount in my super world, and I think I've gotten a good use out of it. Did I use it before my super world? I'm trying to remember now. And this won't mean anything to anyone who doesn't know. I don't think I did, because the power-ups were introduced around between this patch and this level and this level, and I don't think any of the 3D world levels featured that particular power-up. Oh, you know what? Also, there were only 8 of them. There were only 8 levels between the patch and the start of the super world, because that patch did also introduce the ability to do super world, so it made sense to go right into super world stuff. 10, I think 10 actually. Not 8, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What? Oh, I guess maybe I was in the middle of a... I like to, when I made levels outside of a super world, I'd like to do like one of each type before looping around. And I guess when I sort of fell off after Fair and Floodway, maybe I was in the middle of a rotation. Homespun, Overcast, Wrecking Ball, Blue Switch, Ramparts. And then there's just 3. How does that work out? A little confused about that, but there were 30 outside of the super world, so it must have been right. By the way, if you're wondering about my super world, let me hit complete. Jesus, I'm sorry. There you go. There's the information panel for my super world. See that? There's 7 worlds, 36 levels so far. 7 worlds so far. And it's a mostly traditional, DKC-inspired super world. And you can see there the higher concept of the premise. Play now if you want. Get out of here, balloon. Limitless Super Mario Maker 2, or Super Mario Maker. Go ahead and confirm you are up. Let me do a card. Yep, that's the last one. Going to Silver Dollar City. That's a month from now, roughly, and I'm really looking forward to it. That's going to be fun. They don't have as many rides as, like, that I want to go on as, like, most theme parks that I've went to, like Fiesta Texas, even the local Six Flags over Texas, and definitely not Universal. They only have, like, 6 coasters, but one of them is Time Travel, which is a mock extreme spinner, which means it's a spinning ride that goes upside down and has launches. It sounds really cool, like multi-launches. It has like multiple launches. Very, very, very high-tech and fun, and I really want to go on it. It sounds amazing. That'll be like in a month from now. And that's not going to be like for content. I don't think I'll do like any videos from there. I'm going with my folks, you know. My ma, she likes theme parks too, so she likes to go to theme park now and again, which is fun. And she's looking to do a different one other than Universal this year. So, you know, that's why Silver Dollar City in particular. Oftentimes I've gone to Universal. I've gone to there a bunch of times, but, you know, it's good to do other things. And also, this park does have some good atmosphere, apparently, and stuff. Hey, Koofy LP, how you doing? I'm not seeing Limitless or Limitless. Yeah, Limitless Super Mario Maker here. But you know what? This has a clear rate of 100%. Let's go ahead and put Limitless in sudden death and go from there. So anyway, yeah, that's the last card. We will close the queue. This was not a real level. What the hell? What the hell was this? Okay, you know what? We're going back to what I said earlier. One more level and then we close the queue. That one clearly shouldn't count towards that. I mean, it's fine it counted, but you know, we'll do another one. I'm feeling charitable. I'm feeling like in the given sort. One more. Pasquale. Okay, cool. Pasquale, go ahead and confirm. You are up. That'll be a whole thing. That'll be fun. Really excited. I'll tell you, like, currently, if you ask me, like, what my favorite coasters are, like, just say that, right? Just ask me. Ask me right now, what are your favorite coasters? I would say, I would say, Velocicoaster. Velocicoaster's #1. That's the one at Universal. It's Intamin multi-launch coaster, and it's very intense. It has, like, some of the best elements, and I like how it has the first half is the thing about a multi-launch coaster that I think is great is that they can really beef up the second half. With a traditional coaster that just has like one hill and then drops, it slowly loses speed throughout the course, so the biggest elements have to be up front rather than like a big climax, right? Well, with a launch coaster, you can have it so, you know, the first half is like a spaghetti bowl type thing, you know, at reasonable speeds, and then it just kicks you up to a really high speed to do like a bunch of really huge elements at the end, and that's just sick as hell. Other than that, I would say that I really enjoyed Iron Rattler at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. I would say maybe that's my #3 right now overall. Honestly, my #2 would have to be The Mummy at Orlando, at Universal Orlando. That's just a really good dark ride. I don't know about Cherry. What's your favorite coaster? Is Cherry, with a nice walnut coaster to protect your table. I get you the joke, Zonatu. I got it. Let's do this one again. Fundamental. We're gonna give this another shot. We have 2 tries to do it. Refreshing at checkpoints, but I think the thing we have to do here is not get the power up, because then we can get through this part easier. We'll have more wiggle room. See, just a whole lot easier versus not having it. So much easier. That was on me. That was on me. I mean, they're all on me. One of your favorite coasters is Blue Fire? Fuck, I forgot to be small. It's so hard to remember to be small, you know? Pascal, I'll give you a second if you want to, like, chip in or chime in or something. If you do, I'll give you 3 more lives, because you know how sudden death works. Let me list, like, my top 5. Top 5 coasters. Velocicoaster. The Mummy. Really amazing dark ride, and also a very, very fun coaster with a lot of fun little elements and, you know, good set dressing and just production values. Love The Mummy. That's one of my favorite rides at Universal. Definitely. I think Iron Rattler is maybe #3. For number 4, I'd have to say... I'm gonna have to say Hagrid's. I'm gonna have to say Hagrid's for number 4. And for number 5, I'm gonna give it to Six Flags Over Texas. I think that Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast is a phenomenal ride that no longer exists anymore because they turned the cars around apparently since the last time I went there and was able to ride on it. Used to be it was a launch coaster that launched you backwards at really high speeds, and then so when you got to like the back end, you were lifted a little further into the air, and then you did the course forwards on the way back, which was just super fun, you know, doing it backwards the first time and then forwards the second time, except faster. You're faster on the way going back forwards, which makes it a little more intense despite, you know, being able to see where you're going, turns out. I'd be interested in trying the regular version, you know, Mr. Freezer's regular blast, whatever it's going to be called. But, maybe it drops off the list, technically, since it doesn't exist anymore. In which case, I would say, I don't know, Wonder Woman? Wonder Woman's Golden Lasso Coaster, maybe? I still want to say Mr. Freeze. I want to have confidence that Mr. Freeze is still really cool, and it's probably like the best shuttle coaster the best possible shuttle coaster I can think of, out there. Okay, let's go ahead and close the queue. Actually, you know what? I have to give last calls. I usually give last calls and give people a chance to get any last levels they have, including the last person who had a level up. But the last person who had a level up wasn't here, so we'll see. Your favorites are in Europa Park and Tripsadil. You haven't been outside of Germany yet. Oh, wow. Okay, shit. That's cool, Koofy. I say, you know, I watch a lot of theme park YouTube, so I have heard. I think I've heard the name Europa Park. I haven't heard of Tripsadil, though. Tripsdrill? I haven't heard of that, though. And I suppose it's a thing where there's, like, loads and loads, and you can't... Even in America, you can't really remember them all. I would love to go to Japanese theme parks, especially. There's a couple in Japan. Next time I take a trip out to Japan, I want to go to. I know that I mentioned the time traveler earlier to loop it back to, and maybe I'll say, it's possible time traveler might make the list. It's people say it's like a top 5. It's like a top coaster, a top tier coaster. So we'll see how I feel about that once I've ridden it. I'll also say I haven't been to Cedar Point. I haven't been to... I've only been to the parks that I've mentioned, really, in living memory. I've only been to Universal. I've only been to the various Universal parks in Orlando. I've only been to those. I've only been to Six Flags Over Texas and Six Flags Fiesta Texas. So I'm honestly drawing from a pretty narrow pool here. Maybe with more entries in the thing, it'll get more competitive. Let's do Koopaverse 1, Arsenal Antics. This is a cool one. And it sort of has red coins like an earlier level that we saw, as well as some hat stuff. This is last call to get a level in. Folks, go ahead and do it. If you're ever lucky enough to hit up Japan, you will hit up the Nintendo HQ. I'll tell you, I didn't hit up any corporate buildings in my time. I just stuck to like store stops. I feel like, I don't know, like, how do they feel about people just dropping by unannounced? Just being like, hey, is there anything cool here? I know this is a corporate headquarters, but there's probably cool stuff here. By the way, this is like an out and back level kind of where you have to go get a coin in each of these rooms using the helmets that it gives you, and then come back, and on the way back, it'll be like a little different setup. The Europa Park was awarded Best Park several times by the Golden Ticket Awards. God damn, how many coasters do they have? I know that like Cedar Park is like the one, Cedar Point, jeez, is the one that everyone in America really is like the king of coasters as far as that goes. It'll be risky. But yeah, this is like the only time I have made a level that's like semi-traditional that has like the propellers and you're supposed to use them the propeller way. I guess maybe this is more approaching like technical than traditional. I don't know, it's traditional enough to me. And in spots, it'll get very traditional, let me tell you. 13 coasters? That's a pretty fucking good lineup. Or, that's a... I say that, I don't know what the coasters are like. That's a good number, I'll say. And if they're all winners, that would be fantastic. I think, like, a lot of the Six Flags park have about that many, but, you know, it sort of varies, like, how many are good versus just okay versus, you know, better than okay. This one was a fun one to make because, you know, with the... It's fun, the subtle difference between, like, having the thing and not. Like, if you don't have it, this guy's gonna try to hit you with a thing, which is, not good. For all age ranges, gotcha. So some of them are, like, family coasters that you don't necessarily like to go on. I'll say a good thing about Universal is a lot of the attractions that are perfectly good for family are also perfectly good for, you know, regular people. Like, you think about, like, I think about, like, Despicable Me the Ride is surprisingly good. No. You can go on Despicable Me the Ride and have a good time, right? I've heard people in Japan are very accommodating. Oh yeah, they're very cool. It's very chill. I wouldn't make that jokes on it though. That's little far there. They're very chill, and it's a very safe country, you know, to travel in, and also the train system. Oh, it's like perfect. See there, the little bit of gameplay where you can't actually hit the roof with your thing, or else you'll die. I enjoyed putting that together. In total, there are 100 rides. God damn, that's wow. Are they all worth doing? As far as, like, the other attractions go? Oh, and by the way, now that you gotten through this whole part, you get to this part where, let me show you how it works. Because you spawn at this checkpoint with the on-off in the other position, these doors open for you every time you go, and also you can't return the way you can because of the bouncy platforms. Now you just have, like, a gauntlet sequence where you have to go through and do, like, each of the 5 doodads. And I just lost one, so that's not good. Oh, I think, I'm boned here. There's many cool ones. Family is a big portion. I'll say, like, again, you know, a lot of the Universal family rides are, like, super cool. Like, you know, like, Hagrid's is a pretty family accessible coaster, but it is also just, like, one of the best coasters in the park as far as, like, having 7 launches, some amazingly cool elements like the drop track, the whole, like, reverse spike sequence. Oh my god. Hagrid's is just an extremely good ride. Does it have, like, rides like that? Where it's like, screen rides and stuff, and, like, arm rides, stuff like that. I don't know, they're, like, weird dark rides and stuff. That's pretty sick. I guess, you know, with becoming a coaster head, you know, whatever you call, like, someone who rides a lot of coaster, I suppose I do have a reason to, like, go check out, like, Europe at some point. I don't know, I feel like Japan has ruined me on tourism with all other countries, you know? Like, honestly, I'm not really that interested in American cities as much as I am, like, you know, when I go to an American city, I'm just like, okay, yeah, you got Whataburger, or you don't, or whatever you do, whatever you have. I'm not really interested in anything other than, you know, like a theme park or something there, but I'll tell you what, I enjoyed the hell out of just, like, seeing everything in Japan and just touring it the hell out. I think it's gonna be hard to compare. Did we play TNS's level? No, we didn't we? We did not play TNS's level. And also, TNS has not said anything this whole time. So, folks, it is time to close the queue. Do these last couple of levels. Go ahead and do that. There's also a water park that has an area bigger than the original park itself. God damn, where do they find the space for it? Let's go ahead and put TNS in sudden death here for the last, fifth last level of the night. I'll say I wasn't sure if I would go like super long tonight, and I think I have gone an average length stream, which is cool. Like I said, I didn't get much sleep, so I'll see if I crash after the stream or if I, I probably should eat some shit and watch some stuff and try to unwind a little bit. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to play Tears of the Kingdom since Wednesday, so that's not good. You don't want that. Which one should we play? Tomodachi Life, I know it sucks. Okay, you know what? Let's play one that doesn't say it sucks in the thing. Bullets and bombs, easy. 2% clear rate. Let's do it. Let's do it in 2 tries here. You could spend 1 week there, and you would have enough to cover both without getting bored. How are the lines? Are the lines really good if it's like, if there's like so many attractions, they don't really need to focus on like getting people out of the park. That's sort of the function of a lot of lines in theme parks, right? Like, oh, it gets people out of the park and out of like common areas. Oh, I need to kill the guy. I didn't notice I needed to kill a Boom Boom. Shit, okay. Kind of a waste, considering. I know, it said so on screen, it said so all big. Not super observant. God damn it, that looks like that should have hit. I feel like we could have done that, but we didn't. Such is sudden death. Again, I want to say, not being able to finish a level does not consume it. I can absolutely give that a try some other time. VR support for many coasters as well. I've heard, like, absolutely can resubmit any of these levels that I cannot complete another time. Don't worry about it. It's all in good fun. There's even people who have been resubmitting levels that I've beaten before because Super Worlds I've beaten before because they ran out of new levels. And you know what? I'm fine with that. That's cool. I don't mind playing them again. Next up is Zonatu, who is you, who just said good try. Perfect, you're here. I've heard VR support in coasters. I've heard that's very sketchy. That's very, like, it's very easy to get motion sickness. From what I hear, like, every roller coaster I know of that has, like, that I've heard about that, like, has embraced VR has ended up, like, going back on it after realizing, like, oh, this made everyone really, really sick. And I say that as someone who has, like, never gotten sick on, coasters. Oh, hey, I've played this one before. Let's do it. If you beat the level, you get my Prime sub. Oh shit, that's great. You have motivated me, sir. I feel motivated. I have to do it in 5 tries too, so good luck. Those are the rules, lightning round and all. There's a P switch. Do this. There we go. First, secret. It starts in Wayne Manor. Hence the, thing. Oh, I thought I was stuck there, but the P blocks, they disappear. Of course they do. Once in the Bat Cave, you put on your bat suit, Acorn. You put on your bat suit, Acorn. I put on my bat suit, parentheses, Acorn. Then grab my utility belt. Row of P blocks with donuts in the middle. Oh, crap. Okay. Other stuff here. And that opened up, next thing. It has exactly what we need for the situation. So is this like built around invisible blocks that will always give us something surprising that will help us solve the puzzle? That's kind of a neat conceit, even aside from the high concept. Oh, and I'll say, by the way, for tries, life checkpoints do refresh our lives, and I'll say how it works for repeating checkpoints. So long as we get progress. So long as we get like a new red coin, that will refresh each time. But we have to be making progress or else it doesn't count. Now we're in Gotham City. Cool. You know what has a lot of Batman-themed rides? You know, Six Flags. I think other parks do as well. Been hearing a bit about like some Intamin that has like Batman Flight of Power or something. I don't know what it's called. But it's like Batman Streets of Gotham in like some European park. People have been saying that and talking about that in the coaster YouTube. Here we go. What's in here? I think we need a boogie. Intent here. Everything is themed after different nature, different. Ugh. Yeah, that's bad. Don't go in there. It is themed to different countries in Europe. That's interesting. It's sort of like Epcot at Disney. I'll say, by the way, this is gonna be a confusing one, huh? Oh my god, there's so many. There's so many. Okay, let's do this. Eh? That don't feel right. Where's the on-off block here? What the hell? That's not gonna activate. What would make that activate? So, the puzzles are solved by changing the switch state, then. So what we're looking for is to do each of these puzzles and to, like, make the on-off go on-off. Okay. That's good to know. That's the structure here. With the way that how it's so open, it's so easy to, like, go through a different one each time rather than, like, figuring it out by, like, you know, going through the process. Wait a minute. Looks like something's over here. Indeed, something is over here. Got squirrel suit, squirrel suit, squirrel suit, and squirrel suit. I'll say I've been to Disney in my life. Probably a lot, actually. I was, you know... I said before, my folks used to live in Orlando when I was a very small baby. Very small kid. So we probably went to Disney a bunch as kids. You know? Oh, crap. Probably went to Disney a lot as kids. Only went once as, like, a high schooler. Maybe, like, late middle school, I forget. And I'll say I wasn't really into it as much that time. But also, you know, this was before, like, having a phone. So, like, it was impossible to, like, connect to the internet from a theme park back then, and you know, now it's perfectly fine, you know, perfectly normal. You don't have to worry. You know, if ever you're bored in line, the internet is right there. Two of the riddles are Skull's base. Skull's base? Skills base. Trying to sell me on Skullshare. It's the learning network for whatever the fuck. If you want to learn a thing. That's cool how this works. Neat. Not that hard, actually. Hey, that's 1. It refreshes our doodads, assuming we get a checkpoint right here. Where's the checkpoint right here? Through here, yeah? Perfect. Oh, hey, we got a checkpoint. That refreshes our doodads, our guys. There's nothing else over here, right? I think so. Well, hang on. No, this is something. We're going from left to right now, I guess. Not it. Yoshi. See what else we get. Fire Yoshi. This is a Yoshi-based puzzle. Is the next one gonna be like an enemy with damage for Yoshi? Sounds like that was not the right answer. Oh yeah, I'm boned. The other Yoshi is needed for this part. I am flagging a bit now, I'll say. That's not Yoshi, it's your trusty sidekick Robin. Why am I riding him then? Why are there 2 of them? Which is that Nightwing? I don't know. I don't know the lore that well. Okay. Let's try to keep it in canon. Okay, we got a bat suit. We got a green Robin. And we know there's a red Robin in there if we need it. I think, though... But we do need the red Robin. Which, hey, that's the name of a restaurant, isn't it? How's that? Well, that's, yet. Seems good to me. Eh? Get it. Maybe the key is to not deploy the bomb. No bomb deployed. Instead, we gotta do something else with it. You want a tip? I'll take as many tips as you got, honestly. I'm fine with tips. If you want to give tips, up to you. No? Ugh. Okay, so... Damn it. What's Green Yoshi's favorite breakfast food? Bominos, Springs, Cheerios, Honey Bakers and Oats. That's not what it's called. Honey Bundles and Oats. Honey Busters and Oats. It's a cookies. It's a Cookies Ahoy. That's not what it's called. Chips Ahoy. Chips Ahoy. That's what it's called. Springs are not a breakfast food. Proteins. I'm pretty sure you can eat anything for breakfast if you care about it enough. We need to get the right Yoshi down there, but also we need to like account for the fact that I need to get both Yoshis down here. What is the world's most common? Oh, I get it. Eggs. I need to eat the egg. Wait, how can I eat the egg and get into the room? Because the room is blocked by ice. Wait, but the ice is irrelevant. We don't need to go through the ice here. Fuck! Well, we had the right idea here. We got through one area. That's not a prime sub. Oh. Thank you for the level. I'm sure, you know, hey. What would be great if we could do it like outside of sudden death or outside of the lightning round? I bet we could get farther outside of the lightning round. I'll say this level's massive, so, you know, maybe it wouldn't be that much harder even if we had 15 minutes to do it in. Thank you very much. Let's go on to Joe Rogues. Not in chat, huh? Well, I'm gonna pull up the thing and then let's put in the code. I'm all out of topics, so I just have to improvise and say about things that just spring to mind. I suppose I can talk about Majora's Mask Randomizer. I'll say, like, I was looking forward to trying out those rule sets, and turns out they were pretty hard. But I'm happy that like a bunch of people did show up, and mostly in one big raid. But honestly, a lot of people after that point did show up once it got really rolling, and I appreciate people saying, you know, giving me hints and talking. That was a good stream. I quite enjoyed that stream, even though I pushed it way too long. Some randomizers, you know, they really need a Sunday stream to make it work, actually. You know, where you can just literally say, like, okay, 6-hour stream, that's fine. It's fine to be 6 hours right now. I still have time to do other things in my life. And if it's a 8-hour stream, hey, that's fine too. Oh, right, you can't throw shells upwards in 3D World? Part of me just wants to throw it upwards. The Riddler is triumphant once again, as he tends to be. Half a bomb blew up. Oh, his bomb, half of Gotham blew up, not half a bomb. What would even a half a bomb be? There we go. Key. Not key, coin. Coin's optional? We might never find out. I am pretty hungry. That's before the thing about square meals and all. I could use a square meal. There's only a couple levels left here, folks. Anyway, with that Majora's Mask randomizer, I'm really looking forward to Sunday. What the hell? I just appeared. Don't want that. Really looking forward to Sunday, doing the press conference thing with Microsoft watch over. Not sure if there'll be much to like really react to, but if there is, I will react to it. We'll talk about like how that goes then. I don't know if I'll prepare like cards for that stream and also for like the, you know, for the whatchamacallit. For the Monday stream. Maybe just one of those streams will have like a bevy of cards. But, you know, them being so close and all. That's the second try. Thank you for the level. Next up is Caliber Gaming. Does not appear to be in chat right now. Go ahead and refresh these two things. Let's just get this done. Caliber Gaming, if you're here, go ahead and say. I'm not gonna type a thing into chat because I have out of topics. I guess I could talk about what I hope to see there, and I guess my answer is I don't know. Double Fine having a small thing would be cool. It's been a year and a half or 2 years nearly since It's been nearly 2 years since Psychonauts, so maybe they could have some small indie team thing, you know, if they're not just going on to some massive new game, which, you know, if you saw the Double Fine documentary, I wouldn't expect them to. I think we're just gonna see Starfall and all that in like actual gameplay and see what that looks like. It'll probably just be like it'll probably be just like Outer Worlds, but bigger. Probably rougher like Outer Worlds. Okay, so this is sports. We're doing sports. Are you familiar with Monster Hunter? I know of it. I wouldn't say that I... Which one is this? Is bowling? I would say that I played a little bit of one on stream, actually, the first time I ever played a Monster Hunter, and I think it's way above me. Not way above me, maybe that's the right way to think of it. It's like beyond me, you know? The complexity and such is just... I don't see myself ever getting quite to terms with that, you know? Really like understanding what it is to play a Monster Hunter and to get good at it. But, you know, hey, I'll say, like, I think it's cool, anyone who gets into it. That's a cool little bowling minigame. Oh. So we have to do all 5 sports minigames in one run. Okay. Cool, cool. Tennis, then. We'll go in order, other than, we'll go in order. I wonder if it just lets you win. Or if it lets you die. Oh. It absolutely does. And you don't even have any tries or nothing. Well, let's give that a go. Or should we see a different one? You know what? You don't die? Wait, was there a switch there? I thought I was locked in there. Oh, the on-off kills the on-off would have killed the shell. I just realized that. Okay, we'll do them in order and we'll do them good. I thought we were locked in there. That's smart design. I just didn't really work it out in time to save the thing. Kind of weird. It kind of seems like it's all luck-based now. Like I'm dependent on just luck of the draw here. They make it so... How? So each time you... I guess the POWs are just so far enough away that when they hit, they take out only one of the things. It's broken? How did it break? Well, look, we're gonna have to get lucky, I think. We have 1 life here. And look at that, we got perfectly lucky. That was a service fault. We got a service fault there. What else could be at Microsoft? I don't know. They got so many studios. I guess if I'm looking for anything in particular, I'm looking for original games, you know, original IPs. Something that I haven't seen before, you know? Something that makes me go like, oh shit, that's a surprise. You know, that's something new and original and exciting. You know, too many games are just like, oh hey, we made an iterative sequel, and you're just like, okay. Yes, okay, so this one, you have assists, okay, that's cool. I mean, I've seen fighting games that have assists before, so it's not like a new thing or nothing, but sure, why not? Sub-Zero doing it. I think that a lot of people are going to be very pleased with that. Hopefully there'll be something cool. I always think that Microsoft puts on a pretty good show. And also, it's on, we've been waiting for the fighting game from Riot. The one that's the sequel to that robot game, right? Or, not sequel, the one that is made by the guys that made that robot mech game that got folded into Riot, yeah. I just want something I haven't seen. And I guess more than anything, I want, like, specific Nintendo titles, so I guess... Well, obviously, Microsoft won't have those. But also, Nintendo doesn't do these during, like, you know... During working hours, I can't exactly, do a React stream. Not that much of one, anyway. You don't know about the robot mech game? I think there was a robot mech game where you're playing as mechs. I can't remember what it was called, but it was canceled, and they were like, oh, we're gonna make a... It's now just a proof of concept, because we're making like a simplified fighting game for Riot. On. Timing here is, we kind of lucked through it last time, didn't we? This time, it's much harder to find that timing. Strike! Yeah, that's what they say. From what I know, it's not just a simple fighting game. Yeah, you know, I don't think that game was supposed to be just a simple fighting game as well. Honestly, I feel like simplifying fighting games is kind of a fool's errand, you know? I don't think it's ever really worked out. And I don't think that anyone who's tried it has been super, like, impressed with the results. You know? Seems to me when you simplify a fighting game, all you do is make, like, a bunch of different buttons to be like, okay, so instead of doing, like, a quarter circle to do this move, you just do a button. When do I use this move? Oh, in very specific circumstances. Like when you're, like, a foot away. Riot has never disappointed. Well, it's a new team at Riot, so, you know. We'll see. I'm not saying that... I'll say that the robot fighting game was not for me, but I don't think it was a bad game. I just thought that it wasn't for me. You know? I like in this level how, like, the structure of it sort of surprises you, you know? I say that, I guess it does say at the start. Like, you need 5... It actually isn't that much of a surprise if you're paying attention. What's the deal here? Ooh. That's cool. That's a pretty cool one. I think that one was a winner. Never seen it? Don't want to look too deeply? That's fair. Wrong way. Wow. A little bit of maybe some drowsiness here. I am maybe getting to the point where a lack of sleep is catching up very fast all of a sudden. I guess there's almost only so much adrenaline can do for you, especially if you run out of conversations, you know, out of topics. Okay. Why don't I talk? You know what I should talk about? Sports! And specifically the sports we're playing. I don't know what the last sport is, but I'll talk about golf for a second. Sure, what the fuck. I'll say, like, for my part, I've never been big into regular-ass golf. I kind of think that hitting the stick away to distances that far is kind of not interesting. Not interesting to me. But I do like mini golf. I feel like mini golf is like a classic, a staple of everything, you know? It's just, yeah, hit balls into corners. It's sort of like pool, but if pool had levels, you know? Oh, baseball, that's an American pastime right there. Gotta swing. Oh, I'm running the bases. I think I won. Yes! Look at that with 83 seconds to go. We did it. Perfect. Thank you for the level, Caliber Gaming. I appreciate it. Let me go ahead and hit complete on that. And the last level tonight is Koofy LPs, who is here, who has been chatting, very active. Thank you. So let's go ahead and do. What's the weather like right now? Oh, that's just a topical question, if I ever did hear one. Not good. I think we have an air alert. Even though we're pretty far from the Canadian fires. Okay, no, actually, no air alert right now. That's great. That's great. Okay, the air alert is gone. There was an air alert like yesterday and Wednesday. Last 2 days, last 3 days. So all the times I walked in the last week was under a air alert that said like, hey, don't go outside. You know, I'm in Texas, so we're pretty far from it, but we still apparently got some stinky weather, you know, but not a hellscape, you know? Not a hellscape. You seen it on TV? Yeah, man, it just looks like when California was burning down, you know? Where it's just like, holy hell, it's red. You know, there's ones in there where it's just like the city is cast yellow, as if it was a it was a scene set in Mexico in Breaking Bad, you know, or any one of many you know, American productions that choose to represent Mexico by putting a yellow filter over everything. Apparently, Mexico is really yellow. Is that a thing in other cultures? Goofy, you're German. Is there like when you see a scene that's in France, is there like a color filter they put over it? Like, do they put like a blue filter over it or something? And be like, yes, this is France. You can tell because it's blue. The air is blue there. Or is there any other countries where that gets that treatment? I will say the Mexican yellow treatment is probably vaguely racist. I say vaguely. It's probably totally racist. Like, and I make fun of it in a way. I'm making fun of it when I make light of it, but it's not good. You know, please understand when I say like, oh yeah, it looks like Mexico in any number of American television shows. I'm making fun of the color designers or whoever the fuck decides that it should be that color, rather than, you know, looking like normal places. The sun is the same in every place, pretty much. You know, the sky is pretty much the same. The Arctic, that's the place where you get a different one. Windy and rainy is Britain. I could see that actually, like maybe a little bit desaturated Britain. Would you describe Britain as a little bit desaturated, a little bit gray? You just Photoshop clouds and then it's Germany? You mean like really nice clouds? Or like big clouds? Like big in the sky, you know the kind. I don't know the word for it. What should we do? Any recommendations, Koofy? No gray and gray? Depends on what you like. You got anything like a traditional? That'd be fun for the last one. What's nah? I don't know. Nah. Let's do something else. Castle Descend. Can you descend faster than the lava rises? What does that mean? I'm intrigued. Let's try this one. There's a just above a 3% clear rate. We might be able to do this though. Last level tonight, let's go. What is that? How can you descend faster than the lava? Lava don't descend. Wait. Is there something after me? Huh? Oh. What? Huh? Oh, the lava does rise. I'm confused. I think I screwed up. Yeah, I needed the laser to do the thing. Yeah, yeah. All right. Oh, and that's a ticking clock. That's good. That's some good theming. Alright, do this. This guy down. Huh? Oh shit. I need boots. Get boots. I get boot from block. I kill boot owner. I stomp. Lose boots. Use shell. Big Mario. Big Luigi. Ah! I want you to go directly after Big Thwomp. Oh, follow him down? Okay. That's a good tip. Don't have to wait. Just can write it down. You don't know for sure you can do that because you don't know he's gonna die going in. So that's why I was maybe hesitated a little bit. Alright. That's that. Boot. Shell. Big. Down here. Whoa! That's gonna refresh the lava. Wow. Okay, maybe don't get too excited. I think we're still dead. I think we're still dead here. I don't have the power-up. Oh, wait. Maybe... Wait, no, the power-up... Oh, shit! That opens the thing. Okay. Okay. Fuck. Guy. Okay, we know what to do now. That was incredibly close there, that time. Like, getting into that checkpoint. Very clever way to do a checkpoint. Just have a pipe, reset your stuff, and have that be the checkpoint. That's really inspired. Jeez. Cool shit. Here we go. Hello, Boot. Down we go. Shell. Big. Down. Oh wow, this time we couldn't even see the thing. There's a checkpoint? Cool, okay, that'll refresh our doodads, our lives. I'm gonna refresh the timer, the lava, by going back in here, now that we did that. Just so we, can relax a little bit. Just a little bit, not too much. Oh, fuck. Shit, that's, gonna be tight. Oh, wait, maybe it's not. Okay, good, the lava's nowhere to be seen. There's a checkpoint. Refreshes our lives. Let's fucking do this. Oh, and look, it has an infinite lives, too. Wait. We have to break through? Oh! He breaks through. That's gonna do that. That's gonna open the thing. We need to kill this guy? Oh yeah, we do. For sure we do. Yeah! Almost looks like those guys are being, like, dragged out to me. Okay, I'm gonna do the door to reset. Also have, like, very limited time left. I can take a death. And by the way, this one wouldn't count for a timeout. The timeout rules because, you know... Because, you... Oh, I already had a key as well. I didn't notice. I do have rules concerning timeouts, but those are for, like, you know, levels where I didn't just get a checkpoint. Checkpoint resets all that. But also, I think this might be the end. Fuck yeah! That was an inspired level, dude. Wow. Fucking really cool. Loved it. The theming, the way that you were racing lava that you couldn't even see. Oh my god, that was tense in a way that is just super, super creative. I don't think I've seen anything quite like it. I almost expected the lava to be coming in from the top or something, the way that it was described, but no, it made sense. By the way, Nintendo, if in Mario Maker 2, if lava could descend downwards or like be at the top of the screen as well, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be a cool thing for to throw in. Honestly, Nintendo, Mario Maker team, just throw in a bunch of cool little features like, oh, you can put lava at the top of the screen and have it chase you downwards. Or, oh, you can put lava on the right side of the screen and have it chase you one way. And maybe it could chase you one way and then chase you the other way. You know, maybe it could be like a scroll lock. Just come up with a bunch of weird settings for us to play with, and you'll see a bunch of amazing shit. Red blasters on tracks. Now, hang on, Koofy. Hang on, Koofy. Let's not get too hasty here. Red blasters on tracks. Who? Wait, can you do that, actually? Is that something you can't do? I'm forgetting if that is, You can put blasters on tracks. Of course, okay. There's some other stuff that maybe you can't. Like, can you do this? Yeah, you can. What can't you do? You can't put, like, Oh, you know what you can't do? You can't put blasters that have a guy in them on tracks. Oh, yes, you can. Okay. I thought bonsai bills. You can't do bonsai bills. Okay, but that makes sense. They're kind of weird and big, and they're kind of a weird exception. You can't put lakitus on tracks. I don't think... Can you put twisters on tracks? No, you can't. There's stuff you can't put on tracks, so it's not so weird of a thought, of a joke, but it doesn't work because it's not true in this case. Thank you for the level. I'm hitting complete, and that is the last of tonight's levels. Folks, that was an entirely lightning round stream. Oops, all lightning rounds. All lightning round, we did it. That'll be the title of the stream on YouTube. I'm pretty sure. Oops, all lightning rounds. It's already done. I don't have to think of it. Let me go ahead and pull up the schedule here, which I edited before the stream, by the way. That was part of the reason it took a few extra minutes to start up, because I realized midway through, like, oh shit, I gotta put in the Sunday stream into the streaming schedule before we go live, before I pull it up. Red blasters could make a great lava replacement. Ah, I see what you mean, like a rising floor. I've seen stuff like that before. That's very much like Castle Crush DKC. It was very hard to do in the original Mario Maker. I did try that in Mario Maker 1, actually. But it didn't really work because you couldn't do vertical levels. You'd run out of real estate like 2 seconds. Oh, blaster from above? Oh. Oh! I like that. I like that. That's good. People are... The only thing is you can't let them get too far ahead. or else they'll be able to just despawn them. So you're gonna have to put build blasters below as well. So it's gonna have to be like an auto scroller, but going downwards. You're gonna have to figure out how you spawn in enemies if you do that, though, is the one thing I'll say. That is the stream. Thank y'all for joining me. I am beginning to flag a little bit. I'm a little bit tired here. The lack of sleep after yesterday's uber long stream. I believe you can make auto scroll down. No, you can't. There's no custom auto scroll for vertical level, so downward auto scroll isn't a thing. Unfortunately, I think it'd be neat if it was. I'll be back on Sunday this weekend before noon Central to watch the Xbox Games Showcase, and then I'll finish the Majora's Mask Rando after that. That's the reason I'm tired today, by the way. We spent 10 hours trying to get through that Majora's Mask Rando. The seed was a very evil seed, perhaps, even though it had the blitz settings. It was an evil seed, an evil seed. All our checks were in like the last place we looked. The song was in the last place we looked. We're just missing 3 items in that. We just need fire arrows, and we need maybe the mirror shield. I'm not sure if we need the mirror shield. We might need the mirror shield. And also then we need to get the last song, which we get with the fire arrows and the mirror shield, potentially. It's in the last place. We've checked every other song. It's kind of annoying. I say kind of annoying. It's bad luck is what it is. But hopefully shouldn't take more than a few hours, and I'll follow the game showcase. Whole watch over on that. Sunday, before noon Central, I'll start it like 10 minutes before the stream, before the show starts. Probably more like 15, so that I have time to get set up and get the stream going before actually we have to start reacting to things. I think if stuff is on tracks, it's globally loaded. Oh yeah, you're right. I do know that. That's right. So you don't have to worry about despawning. You just have to worry about people getting too far ahead that it just becomes, not intense. That Sunday stream will hopefully be fun. I'm looking forward to finishing that thing off. It really irked me not to be able to do it in one go. I prefer to do randomizers in one go, if possible. But, I guess for that to be possible with Majora's Mask, I'm gonna need to use some different rules or something. Maybe we need to, Nux. We need to, set the way of the warrior on, maybe I started with just 1 temple completed. Maybe I should start with 3 in the future. That way, all I need to really get is enough to get through that 1 specific temple. And then, most of the stuff will be outside the temple anyway, and that'll be really intuitive and maybe speed things up a bit. I could probably also, mess with the logic. We'll talk about all that and more on Sunday. We don't have to get into that now. Mondays are a Hat in Time. I do plan on still doing a Hat in Time on Mondays. But I will say, no Thursday stream next week, given the big weekend streams that I'll be doing. But I will be back next Friday around 6 p.m. Central for the viewer levels, as I do. And additional streams are possible on whim. At some point, I really need to get into do a kickoff stream for my next level, Ripsaw Rainbow. I don't know when I'm going to find time for that. I really have no clue. Probably not next week, given the whole Sunday stream. Given all that, but maybe I could slip in one quick Tuesday stream or something. I don't know. We'll see if we can find a good time for that, if I'm feeling up to it after a Sunday stream and a Monday stream and, whatever else. Okay, folks, that's gonna do it. Let me go ahead and put in the raid. Thank y'all for hanging out, for giving me your levels. And, we gotta say the thing. We cannot forget the gimmick that came up 2 hours ago and was swiftly forgotten because no one said goodbye when leaving. Sometimes people say goodbye when leaving. Here goes the raid. GDQ is doing a Bubsy type thing. Giant Bomb is doing a talkover of Summer Games Fest. Is there a Summer Games Fest thing going on right now? No, actually, it's just their podcast thing for summer gaming, whatever. Let's see. Neptune Neon doing some sort of Super Metroid something. I wonder what that is. Metroid Neon, I think is cool. K May is doing some No Amiibo Tears of the Kingdom speedruns. Jeez, I guess people are still doing Tears of the Kingdom speedruns already. I can't watch any until I finish. Let's see. Who should we raid? Oh, let's do Tanuki Dan. Tanuki Dan was at GDQ doing the Mario Maker 2 relay race and won last week, like a week ago. And I really enjoyed that race. And I'll say, you know, we should have. I'm not sure if any of those levels are still online. We could have checked some of them out if I had thought of that. But honestly, it was a week ago. That was all out of mind. Let's do the raid on Tanuki Dan. He's not playing Pikmin. It looks like he's playing Stardew. But I will see y'all later. So long, everybody. That's the thing that we say now. We're not gonna say it after tonight. So long, YouTube and the people in chat. So long.